Oh, oh yeah.
All right, sweet. Let's get this rant going. And apparently they gave you a heart, then removed it. What?
Yeah. Like they gave my comments they gave it a like and one of those heart things,
Yeah.
and then it's gone now. Like I checked on it on like incognito and there's nothing there.
What the heck? I don't know. What the heck? That is so weird.
Your comment's gone too,
Oh yeah,
right?
I know my comment's gone too. Yeah, no, I tried repeat comment and it just didn't work.
Yeah. I think the reason they took down my comment is because on the other video I said, "Oh, now this is just insulting."
Yeah. Oh lordy. So, for context for people listening, yes, I am recording right now. Uh,
Okay.
might as well. I didn't want to miss the gold this time, and I was like, okay, we'll just do this here. Let me get introductions out of the way real quick. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this month's KWCC. I am your host, KaijuX, and we're in it for the long haul with this one. With me right now, as of this moment, are GVR and Nagoda. And boy,
Hello.
for now we're waiting. I'm technically starting early because we're just waiting on everyone else.
Okay.
Well, depending on who's going to be available. But in the meantime, oh boy, like before we dive, we're gonna wait for more people before we dive into matches. But yeah, one thing that came up very recently is that, well, let's put it this way: we found someone trying to, how do you phrase it?
Oh look,
A hack
it
fraud.
is match 3. What did he say?
311
311
and
Titanosaurus versus King
312
Caesar,
and
and 312.
312.
We
So
have someone taking the name, the KWC name.
And
and
Greyshot's name too. Don't forget that.
yeah, and Gray Shot's name.
Yeah.
Oh lordy. Oh lordy.
Should we say the name of this hack fraud?
Oh,
They gotta give
absolutely.
them more
No, I
views.
am all for exposing this hack fraud. Absolutely, give the name. Who it's more than likely is, given the fact that, or at the very least, the link we got it from, and someone I've actually been kind of highly suspicious of for a while, actually. So, yeah, no, but by all means, we present all the information we have available on this aforementioned hack fraud. I don't think I'll be providing any. You'll have to just look into the comments of match 310, the most recent match, and you'll get everything you need from there. And you'll understand where we're coming from on that.
Which reminds me, it's still sad that MUTO Prime apparently broke Toho Kingdom because
Yeah.
updates didn't happen for a while, and it's still not on the roster
Yeah, I
page.
know.
Yeah.
At the latest, it should be out by 311. The real 311, not the fake one that this imposter is trying to claim. Oh, lordy. Oh my gosh. So, yeah. But yeah. No.
Wait, they are in the comments?
Yes!
Oh.
It's the Russian person.
Well, that's just stupid.
Yeah, no, that's how I found it. It was literally in the comments, and I made a reply that was like, be better if you'd not claim ownership over stolen videos.
No, they claim that it's their Greyshot, and then Greyshot's claiming ownership
Well,
of
right,
it,
but
which is even worse.
the comment that links to the video says, I'm created this one. And they link the video, and then, yeah, the video claims to be Greyshot. So whether, like I said, I am highly sus of this Russian person in our Facebook comments. Some may say, oh gosh, Facebook comments are garbage, and you would not be wrong. But likewise, it is also an opportunity for stupid people to come on out of the woodwork and say, oh hey, here I am, and then here we could just slap them in the face and say, no. So, there you go. Basically, we're just dealing with idiots. Basically. And Facebook comments is a good place of idiocy. Therefore, yeah, I've made my case.
KWC is a ploy to. I can't believe the Russians are using KWC to try.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's rich. That's rich.
Doused by Ultimate Ditto.
Holy moly. Heck yeah. Anyway. Now I just got a little new notification thingy-jig from a little commission that's in the works, so it's like, hell yeah. I'm not gonna say what. I am gonna share with you guys though, just because, you know. Oh wow, I'm actually shocked he went full accurate. Not that I mind personally. I was not expecting that.
Ooh, that looks good.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. And then just one more recolor after that. One more. It'll make.
Ooh, that is great.
You'll go to tenses with excitement.
Don't give away too many hints now. Remember, we're being recorded.
Yes, I know we're being recorded, so shh. Yeah, I know. Even though I'm just about as subtle with hints as a meteor hitting Earth, so, you know. But who knows, maybe you'll pick up the pieces after the devastated planet.
By the way, what are MUTO Prime's abilities so I can, you know, find loopholes and abilities to abuse?
There's a TK bio for MUTO Prime. You could just look at that.
Wait, where's that at?
Under the comics creations.
Because for some reason
Is
we can't
it?
link it to the monster section.
Well, yeah, that is a good point. Yeah, you have to go to comics, then go to comic creations,
Aftershock.
and then you go
then
for
MUTO Prime. Here we
Monsterverse
go.
creations, and MUTO Prime should be the last one. So,
Alright, I see it.
for whatever reason, yeah, no, it doesn't go under traditional mod. But yeah, no, all the abilities there are going to be listed in the all going to be listed in the thing. So it's like, yeah, no, what you get there is going to be the same.
You know, I'm gonna have way too much fun with that supersonic roar.
Oh yeah, no, that supersonic roar is hella fun. Yeah, no, I love MUTO Prime. Oh man, they, whatever. Point is, they're a lot of fun to write with because it's like, it's that right combination of being a complete juggernaut, but not being blatantly overpowered. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's
Like, Godzilla can fight MUTO Prime on mostly even terms, but MUTO Prime has the advantage.
right.
Whereas King Ghidorah versus Monster vs. Godzilla, it's just King Ghidorah all the way. Godzilla can barely put up a fight.
Unless it's underwater.
Yeah.
You know, thinking about it now, how MUTO Prime's arms are capable of making earthquakes. Do you think MUTO Prime would be a good drummer?
I mean, that's technically what, yeah, that's technically...
Because it does have the drums of Raijin.
Yes, Drums of Raijin is just simply the name of the pulse. The Drums of Raijin affect mostly,
Like the egg pulses.
pretty much the egg pulses. If you're referring to actual, like, drumming of the earth, that's where the shockwaves come in, because pretty much MUTO Prime punches the ground, creates earthquakes that attracted titans, according to the whatchamacallit, the little, what do you call it? What the thingamajig? The super species profile.
So that's what's under Skull Island.
Yeah, right. Holy moly, that'd be insane.
Live action MUTO Prime would be fun.
Let the mega.
It's actually MUTO Prime Prime.
Oh, lordy. There you-
MUTO Prime.
Let
Primus.
that old man Megatron face come to life.
Yeah, MUTO Prime, like, I have mixed feelings on the design, just because, like, yeah, the face and all that.
Or just the way it's drawn consistently from a specific angle, and then, yeah, no, and the angle chosen doesn't really do it favors. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I like the big, bulky, armored arms. Those are cool.
With that human-like face of his, it'd be fun to like have people discover a sleeping MUTO Prime and thinking it's just like a carving in the wall or something,
Yeah, no.
and then the eyes light up.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be great. That would be great.
Yeah, like I like MUTO Prime from a side profile, like in that picture.
Yeah, no, totally. The side profiles where most of the Muto-ness comes out. It's like that's where it becomes evident that it's like, oh yeah, no, this thing is supposed to be a Muto. So it's like, and that's what like I was originally going to commission a 3D model, but then then there was the figure. I negotiated with the guy who made it, bought it, repaired the arm, and then, called it good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, good stuff. Good stuff. Let's see who just.
Oh hey, it's Birdman.
Birdman has joined us. He's probably because I think he said it was a little late, unfortunately. So it's like, oh, bummer. So you'll just have to comment, and I'll just have to try and yeah. So my friggin', oh gosh, my computer is chugging. What the heck? Come on, buddy, hang in there. You can do it. Believe in my computer, guys. Believe in it.
No.
Oh. Damn.
But yeah, I definitely also have plenty of plans for MUTO Prime.
Hell yeah. Also,
MUTO Prime has a roar?
yes, MUTO Prime has a roar. It was from the trailer.
Huh.
So yeah, no. I loved writing that because I was the one that wrote that TK bio, so I did all the research and whatnot. And
Okay.
so yeah, no, that was fun. That was really fun.
Yeah.
Loved writing that one. And of course, there were just a couple of adjustments and edits by my bro. So I was like, I look at it now, I'm like, ah, crap. There are a couple punctuation errors. Oh well.
Yeah, I think I saw somewhere. It might have been Wikizilla that like MUTO Prime's roar specifically destroys Godzilla's spines because of like it resonates at the specific frequency. Like it's not always that powerful.
I mean, it is geared to fight Godzilla
Yes,
species.
that is
so.
true.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that is fair. I always saw it as just being like maybe a specific charge because it did take
Like
a little bit.
opera singers breaking a glass, like a glass.
Exactly. That and Godzilla's spines would be, in relative to his body, one of his most fragile points, so it would make sense those would be destroyed first.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, it's like totally like a vibration. It's definitely more vibration, like very intense vibrations, that, did the job. So I was like, ooh, boy, ooh, what Nelly.
Yeah, we talked about 61
Yes.
last week.
Last month.
Last podcast.
Yeah, last podcast, yes.
But yeah, like I'm pretty sure MUTO Prime's roar would just like pop most of the roster like a balloon.
Oh, yeah.
Give
Yeah,
away-
no, without a doubt in my mind on that. Just go. Sonic.
Something that comes to mind. How damaging do you think that roar would be if done like the Kiss of Breath style?
Oh, lordy. Oh.
Wait, did I just say Kiss of Breath?
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna let it slide.
Kiss of Death.
I was gonna let it slide.
Yeah, yes, Nagoda, the kiss of breath. Wonderful.
I mean, what is a roar but a very loud breath?
Exactly.
Don't you know?
Nagoto didn't mess up.
Well, to be fair, Godzilla does breathe atomic fire, so that's technically a breath right there.
A lot of kissing going on up here. Anyway.
Remember, that's allowed, but no hugging.
Well, don't forget, we can have live impregnations, too. Oh.
Now that I think about it, how many of the monsters on the roster are actually like radioactive?
Here's what Birdman had to say. Godzilla killed the female MUTO because his breath was so stinky after millions of years of poor dental hygiene. That's great. But yeah, no, like, how many monsters on the roster are actually, like, true radioactive? Let me get the monster stats up. Obviously, every legendary kaiju is radioactive.
Yeah, all the legendary monsters, all the Godzillas.
Is Monster vs. Kong radioactive?
I don't think it's ever been explicitly stated. I think it's just more suggested / implied. I mean, Behemoth is radioactive, so...
maybe? That's a maybe.
That falls under a huge maybe. Like, Legendary Kong falls under a weird area, but I think it is suggested that the Kongs did exist with the Godzillas and whatnot. So it's like, yeah, or they existed millions of years ago. Obviously,
Birdman says the Ultras are radioactive in a sense.
That's not wrong. Yeah, the Ultras are.
Yeah, because they
are solar powered.
They like take their energy from the sun and light. So it's like they're not radioactive in the same way Godzilla's radioactive, but there is a hint of that in there.
Yeah, and they also like fly through space all the time, so they probably like pick up radiation.
Well,
as well.
By that logic, then a lot of spacefaring monsters could apply to that same logic too, like Bagora.
Well, no, I'm also saying that like the Ultras are also like absorbing energy, so they probably have a bit more than just that.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Like it wouldn't be as radioactive as a Godzilla per se, but I could see a Titan like detecting an Ultra and reacting in a similar fashion.
That's fair. Anguirus, Showa Anguirus, I think could be radioactive, like if he were more leaning to the 55 version, where he's supposed to be radioactive. Even though nominally he's treated as more of like, natural creature of the planet. But, again, Showa Anguirus, to recall, is a radioactive monster going off the official like canon of the films.
Because he was woken up by a nuclear testing.
Right. So, again, pretty much just four-legged Godzilla, in a sense. Obviously Anguirus, the 2001 Anguirus wouldn't be, because that's just supernatural creature. That's just blatantly obvious. Same with the two AOT Titans in the A sections. Like, they're not radioactive, at least not that I'm aware of.
Frankenstein is. Oh, that'd be interesting to do. Frankenstein being hunted down because he's radioactive.
Lordy. Ooh, that'd be nightmarish. Baggin could be radioactive.
He has Godzilla cells.
He has Godzilla cells. It's never specifically stated, but if we're going off the official like material of the game, he could be radioactive. Otherwise, though, if you're going for the more Mothra versus Baggin sort of interpretation, then probably not. So,
would the Gargantuas be radioactive since they're made from Frankenstein?
That's a good question, because I don't think they were ever... The movie never addresses the idea of them being radioactive. Of course, War of the Gargantuas is a weird, wonky semi-sequel. So it's like it sort of exists in a strange area. I know there have been some interpretations where it's like, Frankenstein's radioactive, but the Gargantuas aren't because they've evolved from Frankenstein without the need of radiation to do their regeneration thing. But it's like,
the Kamacuras would be.
So it's like, I think the Gargantuas specifically, maybe not. Because, again, it was just simply never brought up in the movie. And, that's just hard to tell. Our only guess is its connections to Frankenstein. But even so, the way War of the Gargantuas plays with Frankenstein's continuity is really wonky. So I'm going to have to say no.
Yeah. The Kamacuras would be radioactive.
Yes, Showa, absolutely. Showa Kamakura.
And maybe Kumonga?
Have reactors in them.
Maybe Kumonga.
I'm going down the list here. It's like Bulk Sedan.
Yeah, I am.
Bulk Sedan obviously wouldn't be because, again, lightning sky deity. What do you need? Baragon, we know, isn't radioactive. He's just a fire-breathing tunneler. It makes perfect logical sense.
He's just a weird dinosaur.
But he's a good boy. Despite what Alex may say a lot of the time, he's a good boy.
Baragon's useless, but he's adorable. I'll fight Alex on this.
I agree. Cleopatra, again, guardian deity of the earth, not really radioactive. Next, Behemoth obviously comes from the same time period, is able to absorb and, manipulate radiation to restore plant life. Yeah, no, that one's radioactive.
The trilopods could be radioactive in certain
Yes, much
circumstances.
like that, and it's like take the right monster's genetic material, you could be radioactive. But I think trilopods at their core aren't inherently radioactive.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, they could.
Yeah, no, totally. Like, when they evolve into one of the hybrid forms, no, totally. But yeah. Benular, is he radioactive or not?
Okay. No. He's just an alien.
About 28 of the roster's radioactive.
Oh, lordy. Yeah, Biolante obviously is. Black Moth, I don't think is. It's just simply like a weird serum that's used to make her big. So.
Yeah, Crustaceous Rex and Cyber Godzilla would be.
Oh yeah,
radioactive.
yeah, because I know Cyber Godzilla's self-explanatory, but yeah, Crustaceous Rex is like, yeah, that's part of like that mutant family in a sense.
Yeah, same with King Cobra.
Yeah, that's right,
King Cobra.
That's right. Yeah.
That's 29. I forgot about him.
Dagara.
Because he doesn't have a match yet.
Dagara, I don't think is. I don't think.
No.
That's just more like genetically engineered creature like Gauss.
He's poisonous. He's not radioactive.
Right. Daigoro, rest in peace. You're not radioactive. Get out of here. Descadora, once again, only any other radioactive sense is just like, whatever space travel he does, but he himself wouldn't be, so.
Whatever space travel and whatever planet he eats.
Mm-hmm. So, Destroya isn't. It gets far worse than that. Dagora.
I would hate to be MUTO Prime trying to use Destroya as an incubator.
Ooh, that would not end well for those spores, I tell you what.
Probably wouldn't even end well for MUTO Prime.
No, not even. Oh my goodness. Freaking.
Is the Dagora?
That's what I'm trying to remember.
I don't think.
Was Dagora radioactive? Maybe. I couldn't.
Just skip past him, I guess. Ebra's radioactive.
Showa Ebra is undeniably radioactive. Millennium is much more up in the air, but if information we have is to be suggested, the Millennium versions of the Kaiju that appear in Final Wars are supposed to have origins similar to their original counterparts.
Yeah.
So radioactive.
It could be implied. Because it's like, I think what was stated in an interview with I think it was with Wakasa, Shinichi Wakasa.
I thought you were about to say Wakanda.
Wait, if they have similar origins to their Showa counterparts, does that mean that there's a red bamboo in the Final Wars universe?
But the point I'm trying to say is, when Wakasa's interview, they mentioned that it's like, oh, there are all these monsters here, but nobody's reacting to them like it's the first time seeing them. It's like, yeah, no. In the universe of Final Wars, the monsters have appeared before. So, and I think that in of itself is supposed to imply that it's like, oh, yeah, no, you are meant to be familiar with these characters already. So it could be, it's heavily implied that it's like, they're meant to be more modern reflections of their original counterparts. So there could have been, red bamboo in the Final Wars universe, but it's a huge maybe. We don't know. So Frankenstein, we obviously is. Gamera is.
Yeah, he's supposed to be like a toad that was mutated by a nuclear bomb.
Which, the only origin I have that verifies that is freaking Godman. Godman actually shows footage of like a toad and a nuke flashing between them, and then Gamera appears. And then I think every other official source for Godzilla Gamera has used the toad thing ever since.
Okay,
so
then.
It's like, yeah, there is actually a root for this crazy nonsense. It's like, what the hell?
By the way, going off of those, like God Man and Green Man, can we have human-sized Gyra?
As a spawn, not a main thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, not like the full-on main Gyra, but like, say, like a chunk of his flesh came off and regenerated into a smaller
Right.
version
Yeah.
that will later grow into a bigger
No,
version.
that's fine. Because I know Greyshot, spoilers,
All right.
Greyshot did something similar enough with 146, so.
That was a hand.
Well, right, but point.
Or that was a whole
right.
arm.
Point being, though, it's a piece of Gyra that grows into another Gyra. So it's like, yeah, no, it's just your version takes it in a slightly different direction, which again I think should be fine. Obviously, Gyra, as we discussed, or at least best surmise isn't radioactive, though again that could just be up to interpretation. Gamera is not. However, he is able to convert radioactive elements for his thermal energy conversion furnace. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so hear me out. MUTO Prime injects the spores into Gamera. Mana infused Mutos.
Oh lordy, that'd be interesting. That.
I mean, if they can survive the furnace inside of his chest.
Well, technically, Gamera is not using. How should I put this? The ultimate plasma, which is the chest cannon thing, is not mana itself. It's basically a giant fireball as a stream. What he's able to do is convert and manipulate mana as an energy source to do that. So,
It's like you can have magic inside of you, but you need to absorb that magic from somewhere else to convert it into magic, type of deal.
It's almost like it's like Gamera can control mana. He's able to use mana, but when it comes to his chest cannon, it's basically he's converting mana energy into a big, huge, fiery beam of death.
Yeah.
So that's technically what's going on there by sheer technical definition. I know it's often popular to refer to it as the mana cannon because, again, he only ever really uses it with large amounts of mana. And I don't blame anyone for thinking that. I think we all thought that for the longest time. But it is important to keep in mind that it's like, no, within what's actually going on is that it's technically a giant fireball stream. It's like it's plasma fireballs, but as a big beam, basically.
Like, you could nuke Gamera and he could do the beam.
Correct.
Uh-huh.
That is completely true. So, yeah. Yeah, there's that. So, yeah, no, Gamera himself is not radioactive, but he is able to convert radioactive elements into his attacks. / ultimate plasma. There it goes, slipping over. Ganymus, Gazora, and I guess Kamibus, now that we're here. I guess they don't really count as radioactive? I don't think.
I don't think they're radioactive because they're just mutated via space amoeba.
Yeah, but Yogg would probably want to get them injected with the spores.
Yeah, oh lordy.
Ooh, that could be interesting, actually.
Ooh.
Like, I could see Yogg, like, throwing himself into a nuclear reactor as Ganymes or Gazora or Kamibus to, like, draw MUTO Prime to them.
That's possible. Well, at the same time, ooh, boy. You know what? Freaking, whatchamacallit, being impregnated by MUTO Prime, one of the amoeba trio, would not help them at all. Because those friggin' spores, I'm pretty sure, are supposed to emit sonic pulses, which, they're weak to that.
Oh,
yeah.
So it's really going to be a bad day for them if any of them get impregnated.
Yogg's just like, this plan backfired.
I meant to try to possess the babies, but the stupid pulses.
This went awry.
Oh, Lord.
Gigan has a nuclear reactor in his body.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, Showa Gigan does. Yeah, that's right. So,
And I would assume, by extension,
assume
Millennium
that too.
Gaigan would, because of the
Right.
upgraded.
Both by how we're treating in the KWC and just from what we know. Granted, Final Wars Gaigan's a weird case, but since we never got an official cutaway of him, I would say that he also has a nuclear furnace within his body. But yeah, no.
Yeah, like unless the Exilian somehow got like a better source of power.
Right, unless it's some kind of like cosmic engine like Showa Mechagodzilla, then it's like, yeah, no, I think it's safe to assume that at least Showa Gaigan absolutely has a nuclear furnace. Millennium Gaigan, maybe not. We'll pass on Millennium Gaigan, but Showa Gaigan absolutely has some kind of nuclear thing to him. Obviously, the core Godzillas are radioactive. Junior's radioactive. Godzilla.
Yep. I do want to say real quick. Well, first off, obviously, Shin Godzilla getting injected with the spores would be very bad for the spores, and probably MUTO Prime in the process.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I mean, I imagine...
You think he could adapt those spores?
That's a good question.
Also, Heisei Godzilla probably wouldn't be the best for the spores either, just because, well, he'd probably be able to still be walking around with them inside him, and if he used the nuclear pulse, they're dead.
Nuclear pulse would do him in real good, so...
I mean, I kind of did that with Heisei. I had the spores inside of him, and like every time he tried to do a nuclear pulse, like they'd absorb the energy. Because they do absorb the radiation in the blood, so...
Alright, so Birdman is asking, why did Gaigan get split into two cards in the KWCE? That was because I think, one specifically, Harley had told me she had wanted to do a Gaigan versus Gaigan fight. And I was like, I had been meaning to split several of the monsters into two anyway, so I just decided, hey, why not for these incarnations, just split Showa and Millennium apart, since, again, our basis for KWC merging was because we had an official publication that had Showa evolving into Millennium. That we were fine with. Like, we're happy with just one Gaigan for the roster. I don't think we need, too much else. Whereas KWCE is far more, a hell of a lot larger, and I think it would be in best interest to have Showa and Millennium be two separate entities. That way, you could pit them against each other and fight. That's it. There were just some I merged. It's based on more on what I think is best for the character. So it's like, if it's a benefit to merge most of the Millennium Godzillas together, then that I think is in best interest. Or if not, then it's like, it's just ultimately I felt like for KWCE specifically, I just felt like it was in best interest for the future for splitting up a lot of these cards, and Gypsy Danger and Gypsy Avenger will be split up as well sooner or later. So it's like, there's that. But I'm focusing on splitting just to have more, a little bit more reach, because why not? But going down the list again, Godzillasaurus technically isn't radioactive, as we know. Neither is Goliath. No, I don't think he was. Gamera. I think Gamera was just an ancient monster.
Yeah, no, he's not. Right. He's not radioactive.
Goran isn't. Gorosaurus isn't. Grand King Ghidorah. Where do we place that one? I guess just space travel, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Imagine him teleporting the spores out of his body.
That'd be sick. Oh, that would be extra sick. Oh. Griffin isn't. Gauss isn't. Hedera could.
I'd say Griffin depends, if he takes organic material from something radioactive.
But by default, though. By default, I don't think so.
Yeah, by default, no.
Hedera, I think, is, because I do think
he's immune to radiation. He eats radiation.
I think Hedera also has if I'm remembering the movie right, I think they had mentioned that the flying form has some kind of nuclear reactor. I do believe so, yeah.
Huh. Well, even then, it wouldn't... MUTO Prime was gonna have a horrible time trying to infect it.
Agreed.
Like if it even tries, those alpha
Oh
positives are
yeah,
gone.
no, it's Iris isn't, Jaguar isn't, Chikiro isn't.
Imagine MUTO Prime roaring at Hedora.
Ooh, that'd be good. That'd be good.
That-
Or Destroya, or just any of those multicellular ones. Ooh, that's fun. Let's see. Kamakuras, we just said pretty much is. Kamibus is not. King Caesar, where does he lie? What's his fuel source?
His fuel source is the energy
Okay,
crystals.
okay, so it wouldn't be okay.
That brings up something. Do you think Obsidius and Crystallock would go after King Caesar just because he's powered by
I'm
energy
sure
crystals?
They would. I wouldn't see why they wouldn't, because it's like it's part of his official published anatomy chart that is like he has these weird crystal things. Yeah, I'm more than sure Obsidius and or Crystallock would go after him.
That'll be a fun match.
Heisei Ghidorah is radioactive. Let's not forget that. And then
Yep.
obviously legendary. We went over that earlier. Showa Kong.
Legendary is
Legendary's
radioactive.
probably radioactive, maybe. Though
He can absorb
or at least,
radiation
yeah,
at least.
Yeah, he can
I think
absorb
that's the same case
radiation.
with Showa Kong too. Specifically, King Kong escapes with the Element X immunity. So it's like
Though again, I imagine the spores probably wouldn't do too well with legendary
no,
Ghidorah.
absolutely not.
They'd either get fried by electricity or he'd just like regenerate them
Pretty
out.
much. Kiru, radioactive or nay?
I don't know. He doesn't have a reactor. He has batteries.
Right,
That's
his
right.
fuel source is reactors, but he has the skeleton of the original Godzilla. Is that still radioactive?
But would
No. His fuel source is like a battery because he has to be recharged by microwave rays from a base going to a satellite to his back.
there might be like some traces of radiation in the skeleton, but I don't know if it'd be enough.
I can't.
I mean, it's enough to. If it's enough to hold Godzilla's spirit, it's probably enough to attract monsters.
That's true. Crystallock. Actually, yeah, this brings up a question. Crystallock and Obsidius, would they be considered radioactive? Because I do think those crystals harbor radioactive elements. I think that was the
Cosmic radiation.
Cosmic radiation, I think.
Is there a difference between cosmic radiation and Earth
In
radiation?
real life, I think it's all just radiation, I think. It's just cosmic radiation is used to denote fancy, it's from outer space, so it's totally different. But I think in real life, all radiation's all sort of tied together. Yeah.
Similar.
I do think.
Crystallock and MUTO Prime are not gonna get along, especially with that sonic weakness Crystallock has.
If you want to be technical, the blunt weakness too.
Yeah, MUTO Prime is literally Crystallock's worst nightmare.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
Yeah, what's Crystallock weak to? Blunt force trauma and loud noises.
Glances at MUTO Prime, who's pretty much blunt.
Literally the entire MO of MUTO Prime.
Kumasagami, I'd say
he's
no.
Magic. He is
He's a
definitely like
demon
magic
kind of thing.
Showa Kumonga is technically, maybe.
Depends on how you view the movie, at least.
Now he
'Cause there's questionable-
existed, but like the radiation just, I don't know what it did to him.
Actually,
That's why I said that depends on how you view the movie, because like, was Kumonga always there, or was Kumonga just a regular spider that got
I think
mutated?
it was suggested in the movie that Kumonga had always been there, so maybe not.
Like he eats and then he sleeps for about like 50 years or
something
so.
like that. Yeah. So I think it could be possible, maybe, that Kumonga isn't radiation. I think it's much like the Angiers conundrum. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Legion, I don't think
not
Legion is.
Nah, it's all based on like silicon and whatnot. It's not really radioactive. So is Maguma radioactive?
I don't think so. He's just
He
a
was
Laraptile
killed
that looks
by,
like...
heat rays, wasn't he?
I think. No, I think. Yeah, he was like awakened by heat rays from the, or like the whole operation thing going on. But I think he just kind of woke up.
Yeah,
he
he's
woke
just
up
a,
and they killed him.
A meat.
he's just a prehistoric reptile that looks like a walrus for some reason.
Because Tomiyuki Tanaka wanted a reptile, Ashiro Honda didn't. Someone designed a walrus, and someone else forgot to change the script. That's exactly what happened. I'm telling you. Manda.
I don't think Manda's
I don't think so.
radioactive.
No. That's just always been deep sea dragon god. So
Mm-hmm.
the mech.
Heisei has a nuclear reactor.
Okay, Heisei Mechagodzilla's a nuclear reactor. Alright. Showa Mechagodzilla, I know, has like a cosmic reactor, though I think it's a little conflicting since I think there are 2 publications with Mechagodzilla, or was that just Gigan that had 2? I think it was Gigan that had 2. Yeah, that's right, it was Gigan.
Mecha King Ghidorah is self-explanatory.
Is it, does it have a nuclear reactor? I don't think so.
No, it's Heisei King Ghidorah.
Right, duh. Trace radiation stuff.
But there's like no Heisei Ghidorah left in it.
Not internally, but they're still like the heads and whatnot. The organic parts, I still imagine those are probably still just a tinge radioactive unless they really cleaned it. Mechanicon, I don't think has a nuclear reactor of sorts. Not that I remember.
Because yeah, he goes down when radiation hits him.
When he was trying to mine for Element X. Yeah, that's right.
But Element X is
Right,
radioactive.
Correct. So.
And it broke Mechanicon.
Right, so I guess safe to say no. Mega Gears. I think this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because she is a Godzilla
Right.
derived.
Her original form in the film is Godzilla derived, so it's like, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, so that would count. Whereas Megalon.
It's why she has a mouth.
Sort of a general reptilian appearance, yeah.
And she can smile too.
Megalon. I don't think so.
No, he's just like a beetle that was that became the way he is because of like the magnetic whatever of the Earth's
the
core.
magnetic influences the Earth's core, maybe even like just the underground pressure in general forged his claws. Mogira, I don't think has.
I don't remember what powers Mogira.
Magic.
Sure. Magic. Monster X classifies in more traditional Ghidorah sense, so probably not. Heisei Mothra, obviously not. Legendary Mothra is, for obvious reasons. Millennium isn't. Leo isn't.
Yeah,
Mutos
they
are.
are. Mutos.
Yeah, I think Obsidious, we pretty much said low-key is because cosmic radiation.
Could MUTO Prime like impregnate another MUTO?
Oh yeah, I think
Maybe.
that would be possible, yeah. Because it's like, I think MUTO Prime, more importantly than being radioactive, I think they need to be something, I think it's like there has to be like a stomach lining for them to feed on. So if it's unsafe, she might not go for them, like Obsidious. He's too hot for her. He'd be too hot for MUTO Prime to simply latch eggs onto. Because it's like...
And he doesn't have organs.
Obsidious too hot for other monsters confirmed.
But no, Obsidious doesn't even have like a working blood
it's just
system or anything.
magma. Dude is magma lava all the way through. Like Orga would be safe because he is Godzilla derived. So he would have that radiation would linger within him somewhere.
Imagine like Orga trying to eat MUTO Prime as MUTO Prime injects him.
Ooh, that's a nasty case right there.
Ooh. Like, he injects Orga. Orga absorbs enough to then inject him.
Holy moly! That's brilliant! Oh my gosh! Oh man, that'd be crazy! Holy moly, someone write that!
And then there's a sequel of the MUTOs versus Orga MUTOs.
No, that's a nightmare! No, and then MUTO Prime, because it reacts to the drums of Raijin effect being the sonic pulses, is driven nuts. It's like circling around because of the pulses from the Orga MUTOs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, wait, because once he injects the monster, he doesn't fight back
MUTO
anymore,
Prime
right?
retreats, because the whole idea is reproducing MUTOs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the thing with MUTO Prime, too, that makes it a little different, is that MUTO Prime isn't necessarily out to kill. It's out to make babies. And by that logic, MUTO Prime is more driven to propagate the MUTO species than it is to kill. It will kill if need be, but yeah, no, it could have killed Godzilla long ago, but because it needed Godzilla's hemoglobin and whatnot to help propagate the MUTO species, it's like it needed him alive.
Like it needs a living life form to
so I think that does
transfer spores to. It can't just do it to like a nuclear reactor, like the subspecies MUTO.
Exactly. So I think while the subspecies MUTO could use like a Crystalak or I wouldn't say Obsidious, but like a Crystalak or like a Gigan to lay their eggs into, or Mechagodzilla to lay their eggs into, MUTO Prime needs to be a living radioactive creature. So I think that does cut out some of our options like the mechas. Like I don't think MUTO Prime would go for a mecha for reproduction.
Yeah, the other two MUTOs would go for mechas.
Mm-hmm.
Which is easy for them since they can pretty much knock them out with EMPs unless you're Mogira.
Yeah.
But yeah, going down the list, probably going to rapid fire the rest of the list so we can actually talk about the KWCs.
Yeah. Orochi's not radioactive.
Red King isn't.
Impregnating him would probably end very badly for those spores because he'd control them.
Maybe. Possibly. Or
they
Red
just
King
die.
Isn't. Heisei Rodan is. Both original and Fire Rodan variants are pure radioactive through and through.
And Legendary Rodan as well.
Rodan as well, though I don't think much like Obsidious, I don't think Legendary Rodan would be a good option for MUTO Prime because literally lava circulatory system. There.
Yeah.
Senda is not. Skullcrawler, I would assume, is also radioactive. Maybe? It sort of exists in that weird nebulous space like Kong. Though
Skullcrawlers need a win.
They do. One day they will.
Space Godzilla would be fun to have the spores in, because have him retreat into space with the spores inside of him.
That'd be fun. Yeah, no, Space Godzilla would absolutely be radioactive. Spyler is radioactive.
But he's retired.
Oh. So.
Would the MUTOs come out of Space Godzilla already in critical mass?
Great question. Maybe? Possibly?
Did you just now see what I posted?
I just saw that, yeah. Hey, that freaking Game Grumps reference. Hey, Billy, what's your favorite episode of the KWCC? The one where they talk about which monsters are and aren't radioactive for a long time.
We've been at this for like 40
minutes. Thank gosh for timestamps, I'll tell you what.
Why is this KWCC so long? Because GVR, KaijuX, and Dakota just bullshit.
Well, Birdman's probably bored out of his mind actually wanting to talk about the matches. Okay, let's rapid fire. Titanosaurus, no. Trilopod, no. Ultraman, maybe. Ultra 7, maybe. Atsunai Kusagami, no. Divine Being. Varan, no. Weird ancient myth thing. Warkigar, yes, because it has green radiation, whatever that means. Zandora, I don't think so. Zilla, yes.
Zandora's a drug.
Yes, Zandora is drugs. He is drugs. And Zone Fighter, I don't think so.
The MUTOs would come out of Wargilgar green.
It'll come out Spyler blue. Man, that'd be neat. Dang it, I wish we still had those two here. Oh well. Anyway, let's finally get this sucker started after 40 minutes! Good cream, I didn't even realize. Alright, going over the first proper match of the day is... Oh my god. Is match 308, Crystalak versus Gamera. Okay, that looks like I need a little bit of energy. And I'll go first and say it's been a long time since I actually read this one, But I do remember this being one of the very first few KWC matches I've ever gotten. So I do remember going over it. I do remember making some modifications to it at the time. Now, again, being 2015, 2016 me, good gosh, I remember I was like really wanting this to be uploaded because at the time it would have been Gamora's first loss. But now it's just part of Gamora's... spoilers. Gamera loses, Krislak wins. But, like... Yeah, at the time I got this, I was like, I really wanted this to come out. I was like, the Gamera killer. We can end it once and for all. And now it just seems like Gamora's just on a losing streak. And this match does not help with that. But hey, you know what? It's still a all-around, like, solid match. Good stuff.
He'll get wins again.
Yeah, no doubt in my mind he'll get wins again. Like, it just depends on who writes him.
He's a popular one.
I mean, hey, you know what? It doesn't matter whether he wins or loses. The fact that he's getting matches means people still love using him. Why should that be? Yeah, literally, why should win-loss record matter if, like, as long as your favorite monster gets a match? It should be it, really. That's all you can ask for.
Win-loss records don't matter as long as the monster is used properly.
And I think that's more so, like, something like the Monster X trilogy from MM is an example of where people have their gripes. It's like, it's not... I think people often say, oh, the loss records are so high, but it's like, I think it's a matter of how the monster is used within that respective match. If it is done unjustly and unfairly, then yeah, you have a right to complain. I don't think...
Yeah, people don't complain about, like... Space Godzilla losing in match 200 or stuff like that, because that's justified and the monster is used well. People have a problem when it's like Bacon versus Manda.
Or again, like literally most of the Monster X, almost anything with Monster X from MM is like, yeah, no, that is entirely reasonable to like make that assessment. And I don't blame anyone for thinking that. Or again, trying, like I said, or at least trying to think that, but couldn't come up with the proper words to say it. It's like, yeah, no. But I think by the end of it, no, I don't have like too much to say since looking back at it now. It's like, it is very much typical KWC, but it is, good stuff from Keyshawn Johnson. Miss you having around, man, but it's nice to have another one of your matches up. And yeah, no, I think, I think it's a perfectly fine, solid match. I like the process of events, and I'm all down for Krislak winning. So, good to give them both some attention.
Finally.
So going down from top to bottom, GVR, what'd you think of it?
It's a pretty fun match. Not a lot to really say. I like the little human element, and I like the fighting.
Dakota, what'd you think of the match?
Do Bulk Zardan versus Kamakuras. Okay, so anyways, it was fun. Like Krislak showing his purpose of hunting down these crystals for power. Gamera is just in the way. Plus, it's the last in a series of what's it called, parents dying in front of their children matches. Unfortunately, the streak was broken with the next match.
We'll see. Yeah, it's
the banner looks pretty good. I like that.
I was just about to comment on that. I was like, yeah, no, the banner I really like Landon Soto, aka Ultimate Ditto's banner. I think this one looks really solid. It's a nice, it's a nice little standoff between Krislak and Gamera. One facing front but glaring, and the other like back glaring. It's like good stuff. Good stuff. It's
posing.
Funny. Yeah, I read the comments again, and there was a recent one made like 3 days ago. They had mentioned that's like the whole Gamora's losing streak. It's like why are they one of the longest undefeated? Oh right. Okay, no, never mind. They were remarking about his longest undefeated streak, which, yeah, that is very true. For the longest time, Gamera was on a win. He was all wins, like 7 wins straight, I think. And then, yeah, and then now he's literally on an all-loss diet.
Mm-hmm. Plus that comment right there that's saying, no, Gamera, he's been on a losing streak lately. I mean, he has been winning constantly. It's time for some losses. You can't win without a lose.
It's not just that. Every win Gamera's acquired is all from the Tom Christian era of the KWC. Every loss or draw that he's gotten has been from us. Yes! Really? Including the animated one. Which I am now just noticing doesn't have the link to the match he appears in. The heck? I'll get that corrected. But yeah, no.
Well, yeah, this is a fun match.
Yeah, no, it's like it's hard to comment on because it is like more on the basic side, but not in the bad way. Not in the bad way at all. So good stuff. And I think with just the two of us here for now, maybe unless Gray Shot decides to chime in later, which I thought I let him know earlier today, unless I didn't.
Is he working or is he just late?
Could be working. I don't know. I don't know the man's schedule. Anyway, we'll migrate over to the next match in the line. Match 309. Godzilla Legendary versus King Ghidorah Heisei. Written by Anthony James Velez and banner, once again, by Landon Soto. Twice in a row.
I gotta say, he really acquired that Heisei thickness.
Legendary Godzilla, dude, yeah.
Plus, is he getting hit in the dick?
No, it's going behind him, I think. But it does really look like that, yeah.
Thick boy. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, because you can see like the plume of fire going up behind him, but it does look like he's getting shot right in the face.
It does.
Ghidorah keeps going for nut shots.
Hey, man.
We need to have Legendary and Grand doing
more
that
nut shots? Sure.
Yes.
Oh, Lordy.
All right, JVR, you know what to do.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Wait, oh, no. What do you guys do?
You'll see when we send it to you.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, in the
Thank you, Nagoda. I know exactly
what I look forward to that. All right. But first, I'll get the comments. This one's a little bit fresher in the mind because, of course, I also had to read and edit it. Yeah, I really liked. Oh crap! Am I thinking Zilla versus Heisei Ghidorah? Shoot! Crap! I think I literally got two KWCs mixed up there for a second.
You okay there?
I'm an old man. Okay? I have dementia.
I mean, so many KWC start off with this,
especially when they involve Heisei Ghidorah and the Futurians. It's like, oh gosh. Okay, no, that's right. This one has friggin'
all of Heisei Ghidorah's matches involve the Futurians, don't they?
I think so, yeah.
All of Heisei Ghidorah's matches are kind of the same.
There's no real variety with Heisei Ghidorah because it's like the only things you could do that are neat, more so with Mecha King, personally. It's not to say,
like, I wish we had gotten more matches with any matches of Heisei Ghidorah, like getting broken free of the mind control and going out on his own.
Like his own adventures, or Heisei Ghidorah being a resident of Monster Island or something. That'd be cool.
Yeah, because he's not evil. He's just being controlled. Yes, upon being broken free, the first thing he did was try to choke Godzilla out. But
But then you do realize Godzilla was attacking him, so he knew that he has to take the thing out.
It's justified.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think.
Also, Heisei Ghidorah is pretty impressive for having his 3 brains fried and immediately being able to still fight.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. But yeah, no. Okay, this one in particular, Yeah, no, I think this one is kind of, it's like, oh yeah, Godzilla's source has been erased from history, but now another Godzilla's like pretty much come to his place. It's like, it's literally I'd say the more.
Wait, real quick. A reminder that being erased from history is still death.
Yeah,
it's death by time, son.
Yeah. Nagoda had some interesting conversations in the Facebook comments of this one.
That he did. Point being, Heisei Godzilla is dead. Godzillasaurus is dead. Legendary Godzilla is fighting King Ghidorah. End of story.
It's not dead, just erased from time.
So,
when the literal last paragraph starts with the death of Godzillasaurus and by extension Godzilla.
You want me to just change that to with the erasure of Godzilla and by extension? No, I'm not gonna do that. Nah. Oh lordy. But yeah, no, I think no, this one is. Yeah, no, it's hard for me to comment because once again, much like the last one, it's like it's very much just pitting the two against each other and see who comes out on top. It's like it becomes harder and harder for me to really give more thorough. Like it does what it does fine. I don't see an issue with it. I just, again, with so many KWCs doing things a billion different ways, it's like, there just kind of comes a point,
Yeah.
So it's like,
Heisei Ghidorah has fought just about every Godzilla in the same location, in the same movie plotline, except for Ray One Jr.
Oh yeah, huh? But yeah, for you to...
twice if you consider Legendary Godzilla.
Oh yeah, that's
and
right.
Heisei.
Yeah, that's right. Because there was Heisei and Legendary versus Grand and Heisei. That's right. But yeah, for you to... Yeah, no, I think this one, again, it's serviceable. It's perfectly fine. I see nothing really wrong with it. What can I say? But that said, I don't think it's particularly sticking with me either, unfortunately, which is the worst I could say. So it's like it's not terrible, but I can't say it's like one of the greats. It's just it's just there. It's very much an average match. Does its job fine. Yeah, no, what can I say? But I do like the banner. Really like it has some nice dynamic flair from Landon Soto once again. Nice electric effects and blowing up. Thick boy Godzilla and the UFO twirling around. So good stuff.
Oh yeah, I like the banner of the last one. Chris like vs. Gamera, I like the banner. He's real good. Yeah. I like the banner for this one too.
Yes,
going on with my thoughts. Okay. The Monsterverse Godzilla is a giant prehistoric amphibious reptile. Titanus.
Gosh darn it.
Not irradiated Godzillasaurus. Sorry, I got cut off.
Oh my gosh.
This match was fine. Not a lot to really say. Like, the fighting was cool. Nice to see Heisei Ghidorah put up a good fight, but yeah, it's just the same Heisei Ghidorah match as the rest of them, but it's Legendary Godzilla this time.
Yes,
oh, was it my turn? Okay. Match was kind of the same, but I don't blame them. Everyone does the same plot point. Even I did the same plot. The actual fighting was pretty fun. I like how they basically went back and forth trying to kill it. I mean, that's basically all matches now that I think about it.
There was a match with two monsters trying to kill each other?
What's it called? The banner. Banner looks pretty good.
What's it called? The banner.
I like how the pose Heisei Ghidorah has right there, like the sideways pose that no one really ever uses and will never use again because he's getting retired. The kind of blurry Futurian in the background, and the Heisei thick Legendary Godzilla. I mean, how else would you explain Heisei monsters?
Well, it's why he fits in the Heisei universe.
Yeah.
Who just joined? Oh, Birdman returns because he knows the little rascal. He knew the
You got any thoughts, Birdman, on the
308 or 309? Did you have any specific thoughts with those ones, or? Okay, nothing he can communicate on the spot. So I just imagine they're probably just like, just like the rest of us. They're fine. Know what they're doing. 308 is interesting. 309 is alright but predictable, which is entirely fair and entirely true.
Would have been fun seeing Legendary
That would
die.
have been nice. That would have been nice. A nice spin of things that's like let Legendary die. So, but with that said, we will go on to the next and the last of the KWC. Yeah,
The
last of the
one.
KWCs for now, and one KWCE after that. And let me put it this way, they're both pretty friggin' good. But first, we will start with match 310, Bagora versus MUTO Prime. Written by Connor Clennell, and the banner by this freak named Andrew Sudomersky, whoever that is. I'm KaijuX.
Some dumbass.
Some
racist piece of shit.
Oh, lordy. Anyway. But yeah, no, oh man. Oh, Bagora vs. MUTO Prime is fantastic. Birdman, you really seem to knock it out of the park with these, because they're so good. Like, granted, on a fundamental principle, it is similar to, like, it's the KWC, get your monsters, they throw down, whatever. But for it, I think it does more of the setup stuff, which I am, really enjoying. It also has just, oh man, no, this one's strong. This is a very strong, good opener for MUTO Prime, and just nice to see Bagora back in action too, because that's good stuff. That's all. We get Bagora space travel to Earth, and friggin', oh man, yeah, no, now I have the exact opposite problem with this one, whereas the other ones are like, they're memorable but not really lacking. It's like this one's too good, but now it's like I don't know what else to say except give praises.
So good it broke the site.
Oh man, but friggin' I really like this one. I also like the twists of why they fight over the course of the match, like why MUTO Prime is engaging Bagora in combat, and keeps in character with them too. So that is a great way to do it. I personally really love the way this match yeah. Oh man, stupid memes. The ending of match 310 2020 colorized, it's just friggin' Larry the Lobster punching the friggin' dead guy. Oh my gosh. But yeah, friggin'
Ditto found the perfect give.
Oh, but yeah, no, oh man. I'll probably go into more specific elements in a bit, but GVR, what'd you think of it?
Bagan versus Orga. King Ghidorah versus
darn
Space
it.
Godzilla. Very good matchup. I'm surprised that MUTO Prime gonna fight Bagora.
An actual real comet. Butchered the heck, but at least it's a real comet.
Here, let me help you with that GVR.
Okay.
King Caesar versus Titanosaurus.
Thank you. And Crystal Egg versus Zone Fighter. But no, I love this match. It was great. It was just two monsters fighting, but there was characterization of both of them that was very well done, and the action was superb. Both monsters were utilized incredibly well. I liked the motivations both had. I enjoyed the scene of Bagora swooping down and destroying the city. I enjoyed MUTO Prime just leaving a path of destruction as she goes along. And the fight was very interesting and unique all throughout. Didn't get stale. loved the sonic beam struggle.
Oh yeah. I loved it so much I replicated it.
With that lovely banner. Seriously, a wonderful job with
I
that
wonder
banner.
why it broke the site. You broke the site through the banner.
Yeah, you
broke the
Yes,
site,
I did,
KaijuX.
apparently. Birdman.
You broke
No.
Anthony's screen.
Birdman broke it. I'm putting the blame on him because he wrote this match, which made me do this, which led to TK breaking. There.
And yeah, are we allowed to spoil the ending of the match?
Let Nagota give his thoughts first, and then Nagota give his thoughts first. Then I think we can go to spoilers, as Birdman could also give additional insight. So.
Well, no, I was just gonna say like. Yeah, I guess we'll talk about it more in depth. But I love the way that I love the finisher.
Oh
like
yeah,
the way the whole fight itself ended.
Definitely. I'm sorry. It's what Birdman wrote. It's glorious. He said, "Gee, thanks, Andrew. I'll write a match for Black History Month of gratitude." Gosh darn it! Oh lordy! Take plastic. Oh. Anyway, all right, Nigga.
Okay, so thoughts on the match. I really liked it. Like the sonic battle between the two, like the clashing, the throwing around through buildings, running through buildings, slamming into the ground. Like it's just really fun. MUTO Prime is really a really fun monster to write with. It looks like. Same with Bagora.
There is something satisfying about writing with a monster that's just all bulk.
All bulk, but has enough agility in there to, like, there's enough, like, maneuverability for MUTO Prime to be swift, but she's also bulky enough to just hit hard.
Yeah, I do like how MUTO Prime was not nearly at full power because she had just woken up in this match. Which does make me think that just, like, if she had, like, gotten the radioactive meal, Bagora would have been screwed.
It's just,
Oh yeah, another thing I'd like to point out is when she was initially trying to inject Bagora with the spores, I'm surprised you didn't have Bagora eat the ovipositors.
That could have been interesting, though. I guess, maybe, that could have been neat, but I think maybe one day someone else will eat the ovipositors.
It'll happen one day.
Nagota really be wanting Bagora to deep throat MUTO Prime, huh?
Yeah, no. With additional elements, I guess we could jump into more specific spoilers with 310. One of the things that stuck out to me was the way MUTO Prime reacted to Bagora. When we were going over our whole list of monsters that may or may not be radioactive, this one is an example of where you could take that to your advantage. In the sense that it's like, because Bagora does a lot of space travel and there's a lot of radiation in space, he, obviously tracks some of that when coming to Earth. And the fact that MUTO Prime registered it as, radioactive creature. Here's a perfect creature for impregnation. Oh, it's not actually radioactive since the radiation fizzled out over the course of the fight. Which was...
MUTO Prime smash.
Pretty much.
Yeah. No, I adored just seeing MUTO Prime when she realized that there was nothing there, just beating Bagora into a paste.
The revelation to that idea, it's a great, because of the way MUTO Prime behaves within the comic, this is a great workaround for both having her fight someone she wouldn't, like, that's not customarily radioactive, but makes perfect sense for her to go after. And I love that with the, with MUTO Prime, MUTO Prime's angle in the fight. I love that because it keeps it in character, but doesn't derail from what the character's about. It's like it's a big bulky creature that's out there to propagate new MUTOs. So it's like, oh man, I just do love that. And then the way end, it's like, Bagora's freaking done, dude. No, he is like super done. Ugh.
Yeah, like a MUTO Prime just like started eating Bagor and was like, "This will do. This is fine."
Right. Oh man, it's satisfying. It is extraordinarily satisfying, and I just love love the way that unfolded. And then yeah, no, Bagora held his own relatively well as well. So,
Yeah.
so he
One would look at Bagor and be like, "That's a frail bat monster," but Bagor's pretty durable.
he has a durability range, sort of.
It's more than you would
Right.
expect from looking at
Yeah,
him.
that's a good way to put it.
Like, you look at Bagor and you think, "Oh, he snaps like a twig."
And it's like it only took a couple shots of Godzilla's atomic breath to knock him out in the comic, so it's like, so it's like he's not the
Yeah, but that's
Right,
Godzilla's
right.
atomic ray.
So it's like, yeah, no, I think he took a couple hits from Cybersaur relatively fine. So I think it's still like, yeah, no, there is a, yeah, no, that's still very much there. That is still very much a thing for him. Yeah, no.
I mean, he survived that encounter with Godzilla,
So
so
even after freed,
not many survive
right.
Godzilla.
No, that's not wrong. That is not wrong. I would also like to say another fun thing with the banner that I really enjoyed doing. One that shocked me was Bagora's Sonic Ray color. I was not expecting it to be red. I had my... Yeah, it's red.
It's
like,
red?
That's comic accurate. What I have in the banner is accurate to what's seen in the comic. I was like, oh. It...
Well, I guess that fits in with like him being red himself.
Right. So it's like, yeah, 'cause I was just kind of shocked when it did because I thought it was a different color, but that may have been the Sonic Blast, which is actually more like a Sonic Scream, like a concentrated beam. So it's like, oh, okay. Before you.
Yeah, when I read Bagor's Sonic Scream, like initially on the Birdman's DeviantArt, I assumed like, oh, it's just like it's like a stream of rings. But then the updated bio came out and like, no, it's just
which
a
I didn't
beam.
know, or didn't recall at the time. So I was like, oh, that's how that works. Thank goodness for those TK updates. I tell you what, they are much needed. They are much needed. Who's gonna speak?
And I was gonna say, you
Right,
can like ask
Birdman.
Birdman his thoughts.
What were some like what was the initial inspiration? What was sort of the history leading up to this, and how do you feel about it looking back on it now that it's on the site?
So while we wait, you want to go into detail about that
Right.
MUTO Prime
So
figure you
Birdman
got?
types out his message, which I'll relay to you, lovely audience, in a bit. Yeah, the MUTO Prime figure used within the banner I have acquired for myself. I was able to get into contact with Kaiju Fan Art David. He has an Instagram. Fantastic custom figure, fantastic articulated custom figures from him. They all look wonderful, and I'll have a link provided for him in the description. No, I think he does. Yeah, no, I had asked him. It's like, hey, is the MUTO Prime, like, I think he had some kind of sale, not a sale, but like, I think it was mentioned that it's like, I went up to him and asked, hey man, could I buy the MUTO Prime from you? And he was like, yeah, sure, absolutely. Unfortunately, COVID happened. So it was delayed for a bit.
Damn.
And then it eventually shipped off. But even then, it was brought to the wrong house. Fortunately for me, the neighbor was more than kind enough to bring it over. It's like, hey, is this yours? And I was like, oh yeah, no, absolutely. And yeah, opened it. One of the arms snapped off, which was one of the more loose, more fragile parts. Fortunately, it's not like if you look at pictures I have of it, it's not going to be super evident. But MUTO Prime's right long arm, not the big arm, but the thinner one.
Yeah, the little
the one
spindly
with two
ones.
claws.
Yeah, the big arms aren't snapping off unless
Pretty
like you
much.
take a hammer to it.
Yeah, no, the claw, like the two-pronged claws. The right one snapped at the base of the thing, so I just had to glue it back together. It's not going to be super evident when I take pictures of it. It'll look fine. Plus, you can't really pose with those anyway because they're too flimsy, so they just kind of like dangle. So you're not going to get too much leverage out of them anyway. posing wise, but the inner, like the smaller inner arms and the big arms are like, those could be posed fine. So it's like, all right, not
Yeah, last we shall never get MUTO Prime dabbing.
not
for a
properly anyway. So yeah, no, but yeah, I was able to acquire rather than doing because I was gonna do a 3D commission from DigiWhip for MUTO Prime. That was my original plan because it's like he's. Well, first it was a dope pope, but that would have cost like $1,500. I was like, nope. And then so it's like I was gonna go to DigiWhip because I know he would have been significantly cheaper by comparison. But then I found the figure. I was like, hey, let me see if I can like use images for this or request images or just buy it from him. And he was willing to like sell it. And I was like, heck yeah, bought it. Several months and one repair later, got it. So now I can freely snap pictures of the MUTO Prime figure for our little favorite banner artists to use at their leisure, and go from there. So yeah, I am now in possession of the only known MUTO Prime figure in the world, which is crazy to think about. But that figure was not. I did not take a custom image. I did not take a custom photo for this image. This was one taken from David Art's Instagram for usage here. Speaking of which, I should have had that. I should have had him credited. Son of a gun. Oh well. Yeah, it was
him?
Anthony that updated. I forgot to make mention of that.
Oh yeah.
Dig blasted. Stupid memes.
Yeah, I gotta make sure you guys like credit MMD Charizard when like banners that I make that have his models show up.
Because I know that's very much a thing with a lot of those 3D models too. That's like trying to give credit to the original guy who made them. But again, like when it comes to Anthony, it's just like, oh okay, here, whatever. I'll try and get my brother to like if my brother gets updates, and he's going to have to because Trilopod bios. I'm gonna try and get that corrected because it somehow completely slipped my mind to credit him. I was like, oh son of a gun. I'll make sure that's fixed next time my brother has an update soon, hopefully. Good gosh. I think with that said. Let's see. Birdman also commented. He said details are vague. Details are very vague since it's been so long, but he thinks that the Sonic Clash idea is what let him writing this matchup, as well as just adding to Bagor's match count. Which more the merrier. More the merrier.
Yeah, not every match has like this crazy inspiration that just like hits you divinely. Sometimes it's just like, hey, this would be neat.
And he just executed it really well. And there you go.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty much what led to that. Yeah. But yeah, with that said, do we have any other additional thoughts on 310 that we wanted to go over, or do you think we're all good?
I think we're good.
Those people's ears are gone. They are never here ever again. If they haven't been eaten by Vigora.
This match's soundtrack is just bass boosts.
Pretty much. Oh lordy. And Birdman has left us. He has abandoned us. Because he just wanted to talk about his match. It's like, okay, I'm done. Time
of course.
For the Brit to go to bed. Brit bed. Anyway. But yeah, I figured. Oh yeah, no, and one more thing. Screen cracking. I just want to have more fourth wall funsies with this. I really wanted to show more of a banner wise. It was just more of a I really wanted to just show off more of like, I guess like a more like fourth wall thing. So it's like, yeah, let's have a crack to the left and a broken, shattered thing to the right. It took me a bit to find the right area for it, but then I was like, how do I distinguish it? I was like, oh, increase the contrast in a little crack. And it's like, oh, yeah, there you go. Heck yeah. And then, yeah, no. So,
And I did see someone on the forums also interpret it as someone recording this and needing to now buy a new camera.
Wrong. You could absolutely see it as that, even though it doesn't have like the other overlay displays. But it's like, yeah, no, it could be interpreted that way. You're allowed to see it how you want. Point is, I wanted to have extra fun, make it a little bit different. Figure we're dealing with 2 sound-based monsters, so it's like, why not? Yes.
The point is loud.
Bass boost. MUTO Prime by Gora go. Stop it! You're too loud. Bagor MUTO Prime. Hey.
I'm going to see how MUTO Prime fares against other like super strong monsters in the roster now.
Having MUTO, like, there was a comment we got a while,
especially with those giant fist of hers.
Big meaty claws. Anyway, no, I think MUTO Prime provides a lot. Like, I think MUTO Prime can offer more than you think, because like there is a clear cut motivation. She's not just a hungry monster. She's more reproducing monster, sure. But it's like she's got the strength to back herself up.
She's got the strength of an earthquake. Not even a weak earthquake, a big earthquake.
Yeah, she can literally punch the ground and cause an earthquake. That's insane.
Or just shockwave, this crazy ass shockwave, too, that can fling Godzilla off his feet. It's like, hoo. Yeah, no, we are dealing with some serious monster power here, and it is wonderful. Oh, jeez.
Have you all seen that video?
I'm probably gonna watch it afterward, but freaking, oh, jeez.
Well, it's just 7 seconds.
It's gonna pick up on the recording here, so yeah,
fair point.
No, like any video you guys like, I have to save for later. I was like, no. It's like I would love to, freaking. It's good.
If you really want to interpret this match in a different way, it's just a battle of 2 lead singers.
Okay, that's good. 2 lead singers. Okay, yeah, no, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. Oh my goodness.
Who do you think would win in a screaming singing contest? Bagora, MUTO Prime, or Bacon?
Yes, throwing them under the bus now, aren't we? I guess it had to happen. It's a staple here. But yeah, no. I think, like, a while ago, we got a comment from a user that was like, oh, MUTO Prime can't bring nothing. It's like, you.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to have to heavily disagree on that, because I think MUTO Prime offers something a little different, and something that I think kind of completes the whole MUTO family tree in a meaningful way, personally. So it's like, I think you can have a lot of fun opportunities, like MUTO Prime fighting alongside other MUTOs, or, you know.
You keep cutting out.
The recordings got me, they heard me. But for you guys' sake, like MUTO Prime fighting other MUTOs, or fighting with, or even against other MUTOs.
I know that someone posted like a trailer for a match with MUTO Prime.
It looks fun.
Yeah, no, I read that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah. Good.
Oh no, he's turning into the Kool-Aid man.
But yeah,
But yeah, no. I've already told KaijuX this, but I definitely plan on doing MUTO Prime
which
versus
sounds
Legion.
awesome. I look forward to that big time. And it's like, hey, another big powerhouse that isn't overpowered. That's always great, and I think MUTO Prime meets that criteria really nicely.
Yeah, that is based off like the recent tournament that was done on the TK forums, where one of the matches was MUTO Prime versus Legion. Pretty much everyone agreed like that would be a crazy fight to see.
Oh yeah. You know what?
Just these two juggernauts colliding
and
into each other.
Legion's no joke. Like, I'd argue Legion exists in that same sort of category too. It's like she hits just as hard. Hold on, let me repeat that again.
Yeah.
Legion's also fast.
Right. Yeah, no, Legion's also like really swift. Like even though she's big and bulky, her speed isn't compromised for being bulky. But friggin', yeah, no. So I think that's a crazy good fight to have there. That's like Legion versus MUTO Prime is a great matchup because it's like they're both huge, they're friggin' powerful, and they hit like trucks, both of them. So that would be.
Now, if only I didn't have like 100 matches on my plate at the moment.
Stop adding to the plate.
Same
Never.
You people keep giving me more.
Either, but, you know.
I don't even have a plate anymore, KaijuX. It's just
No,
a
I'm
pile
referring more
now.
to- Oh yeah, that's right. It's just a pile, isn't it?
Nagona just took the buffet with him.
Man, when Nagoda read all you can eat buffet, he took that literally. Oh, Lenny. Oh my gosh. Afraid, yeah, no, but that said, afraid, oh my gosh. Do we have anything else to say with 310 that we wanted to say? I felt like I said this already. Frick. I don't think so.
I think that's it for now.
Right,
Unless Great Shot hops in.
Shot hops in. Yeah, no. I'm gonna send him a reminder.
You're gonna send
Right.
that link to the
Yes, I am.
KWCE?
And with that said, first off, I have to say, or lastly, I should say, I'm glad MUTO Prime's in the roster. I look forward to more matches with MUTO Prime. So, there you
go. This is gonna be fun.
And with that said, we will tackle over the last match of discussion for the podcast, KWCE number 62, Varan Showa versus Varan 2001 from Shin Gojira for...
I think you mean Baradaki versus
Gosh,
Baradaki.
you get the idea. Spoilers. Not really, but spoilers. Written by Shin Gojira 14, who you may be familiar as Joshua Stripmatter, who wrote match 306, Legendary Godzilla vs. Heisei Rodan. So, yeah, no, oh man, this one. So first off, there may be a little something else coming up, but in the event that it doesn't, if there's a weird delay, which there shouldn't be an issue with that. So expect something coming up next week. This coming, let's see, this is probably going to go up, yeah, no, like this coming Friday, I think. Like there should be a little something coming up for Halloween. But I also posted a regular KWCE just in case, and I figured it was a good opportune time too because the date of October 14th is actually when the original Varan came out. So
Yes.
yeah, no, I decided it's like, okay, we have a match focused on two Varans released on October 14th. And one of the Varans has a more supernatural... Well, technically both have supernatural themes. Why not? So it's as spooky as we're going to get here until this Friday. Which in that case is going to be even spookier. But with that said, I think this one is a stellar match from Shin Gojira 14. My gosh, this is... No, this is fantastic. I love the way this is written and executed. Much like Birdman, I think Strip Matter is a talented and fantastic writer. I love... Oh, man. No, so much of this I love. The way they fight, the way they... no, it's really good. It is really good. It ended in a way I wasn't expecting, but was satisfied nonetheless. Of course, granted, once you throw in little Bab, it's like, hey, it leans to a certain way, or you hope it, you hope for the best that it turns out a certain way, and it does, and it's like, okay. But it's like, I love it's like the ultimate Varan tribute, in a way, and I think it turned out really nicely for it. So, fantastic job, Shin Gojira 14. Love the match. Great addition to the KWCE library. And I'll pass it off to GVR. What'd you think of the match?
Yeah. Well, first I'm just going to say, like, the writer gave some trivia on the thread for this one, real quick, if I can say that. Yeah, according to him, the match was originally going to end with 2001 Varan lunging at Showa Varan while his back was turned. Only for Showa Varan to lurch backwards and stab 2001 Varan.
Yeah, that's right.
With his back spines.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's right.
But yeah, I loved this match. It was great. Never thought I'd be hyped for Varan versus Varan, but here we are.
No, I think this is a great match for Varan. That's like, justified with the character. Well, of course, granted, I guess any Varan related thing's better than how he appeared in the actual movie, personally. So it's like,
yeah.
And anything is better than the original movie, unfortunately.
But yeah, no, I loved the emotional aspect of this one with, Varan and the young Varan protecting his child. Loved the very mystical aspect of the whole thing with the Yamato Guardian. And just the fight itself was real tense and cool. Loved it.
Yeah.
Like, it was a very animalistic, awesome battle. Yeah. I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself here, but just like
I
really
feel you there,
match.
man.
Good
it's
stuff.
like when you have pure praise for something, you can't really find anything wrong with it. Yeah. I got you.
Yeah. And now we need Showa Baragon versus Millennium Baragon at a lake,
Yeah!
ending in a tie.
I can't believe that happened. You're just like, first Anguirus versus Anguirus at a lake. Anguirus 2001 wins. Now we have another match that's set at a lake where Showa wins. So it's like, now we just need the Battle of the Baragons where it's a draw, but set at a lake.
Yes.
Oh boy. Nagoto, what'd you think of KWCE number 62?
It was fun. I liked the little baby Varan that was there. What else was there? I don't know. It was just like an interesting fight, seeing these two really similar creatures just duking it out, and like how animals fight for territory in the wild sort of deal, but more so for one of them just protecting their young type of deal. Plus the chanting. The chanting
Always
was
love
nice.
The chanting.
You know what the good thing about
What?
the KWCE is?
Yes,
No
only
Facebook
TK
comments.
from people with intelligence and brains. So actually people that know what they're talking about and can actually give valid responses, as opposed to match request 5000 or spam. So
Wait, I got it. I know what I have to do now. Let me just switch threads real quick, and
no. Nagoto, are you good?
King Ghidorah 2001 and Mothra 2001 versus Baragon 2001 versus Anguirus 2001 and Varan 2000.
Gosh darn it.
But yeah, that request right there
it
does sound
It
really good, though.
does.
Plus, it actually gives ideas on what to do instead of just
totally.
monster versus monster.
Yeah, no, those are always better because it gives a.
That's
Yeah, no, it gives
request threads.
Yeah, no, they're optional, but at the same time, it's also nice. So, you know what? Sure.
Nice
They
things
are
are nice.
absolutely nice. It is nice to have nice things.
Nice nice things are nice.
That's how it works, doesn't it? But yeah, I think that about covers our KWC stuff. This is the point where we should have had that crazy freaking
What?
monsters are radioactive in one art, but whatever. It's fine. We're fine.
So you guys want to talk about how underused those organizations in
Sure.
Godzilla and monster movies are?
Got nothing better to do, I guess.
Well, we wait for other people like Grayshot or GVJ or Bacon to join in. How come no one has used the CCI or the
Because
Godzilla
people
Prediction
don't know
Network?
people don't know how to be smart enough to write with them. Just stick with the thing that is the biggest, most popular.
I mean, sure, the crisis control intelligence is just basically, we're just like trying to find ways to kill Godzilla and prevent his damages as much as possible. But still, that's an entire organization right there with a rival organization of
right.
civilians.
No, totally, man, totally.
And what was the Mega Garrus one? I know they had their
G-Graspers.
own organization too. Yeah, G-Graspers. There you go. Wasn't it like search
Yeah, there was
something
like
something?
three search. Oh gosh, well, I only remember search, but I know they're like three like little separate factions dedicated to the whole Godzilla thing. It was like search something and something. I can't remember what. Yeah,
I think it was like
three
three
S's,
S's
I
or
think.
something like that.
Oh gosh, hang on.
I'm just gonna open up the movie. What other organizations are there? We have like I know we use the Red Bamboo, so that's good for them.
Hooray!
They get usage. What else is there? Oh, the supernatural like news network thing from GMK would be fun.
Yeah, Bridgestone Q, Bridgestone Digital Q. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are. Search, study, and statistics.
So I did get it right.
Think
Three
so,
S's.
Because I remember. The funny thing is, I didn't remember for the actual movie, but I remembered Matt Frank's Godzilla Neo with his Godzilla Neo FAQ, in which he lists the three S's. It's before G-Force, but I think he still references the three S's from G-Graspers. So I do think it's search, study, and statistics. If I am remembering that, if this information proves correct.
What I missed?
Oh, we're talking about like lesser used organizations that need usage in the KWC, like
Okay.
the Godzilla Prediction Network, Crisis Control Intelligence, G-Graspers.
Stuff like that.
Okay.
So, you know.
Any you think should get some usage?
Let me think.
I would personally love to use Monster Kill Crew. The Monster Kill
The
Crew
what?
from the IDW comics.
Oh, okay. I'd kind of like the Earth Defense Force from Final Wars to get more recognition.
That's true. Because I think I think
organization?
KWC uses more GDF than EDF.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the GDF from like Godzilla Unleashed, where they have all the mechs.
Yeah. I just looked up, got the move. I just opened the movie.
All right,
Search study
sweet.
statistics.
You backed me up on that. Woo.
But yeah, I'd like to see like the Earth Defense Force, like the M organization, like the various ships they have. Because even when we use the Gotengo, it's like
It's just
sort
there.
of we've used the Gotengo and like Captain Gordon and stuff, but it's been like retroactively changed to be like modern day
Yeah.
GDF.
Right. It's not with the. It's not. We use Gotengo and Captain Gordon, but it's not in association with the EDF.
Yes.
We don't even use the Gotengo to attack
Well,
monsters
now
that
we
much.
could. Well, technically, because again,
We can. We just
Exactly.
can't have them kill them.
You can do a lot to a monster without killing it.
yeah, no,
Mhm.
totally. Or in the case of swarm types, we get them to kill a couple, so long as it's not the last one.
By the way, am I allowed to have like the mutants helping to kill a monster?
Yeah.
Like as long as the final blow goes to like say like the
Yeah,
armored titan,
totally.
would that be
It's
fine?
no different. It's literally no
All
different
right,
than the
good.
Gotengo doing the same assist. It's just a different method of executing that.
As long as the final blow is
The
dealt by
combatant
the
monster.
monster, it's fine.
Okay.
So, yeah, no, absolutely.
So as long as I don't have like the mutants killing the monster, like say
Exactly.
blowing up the head.
Yeah, exactly. You got that right.
What other organizations are there in monster movies?
Oh boy, at least in Godzilla movies. I'll be more specific and say in Godzilla movies.
Yeah, in Godzilla movies.
Are we allowed to use
Oh yeah,
Science
that's
Patrol
fine.
from
That's
Ultraman?
fine.
I think
Science
so.
Patrol,
What about the one from
Ultra,
Ultra 7?
Am I allowed?
Ultra 7 slightly.
yeah,
I guess it's alright since it's in association with the character. I hope, because I know that could be a little. I think it just depends on how much of an impact saying, oh, by association with a character has an impact on everything else. If it's like used to exploit, well, probably not, but something like, oh, these are the characters from this show, from this series, even though Ultra 7 we got from an Ultraman Taro episode, you know?
Yeah, but we can like use the Super
Or
Science
whatever
Patrol,
it
I
was
think.
in Ultra 7, I'd imagine that's alright. Yeah.
The Ultra Garrison.
Yeah, So I think that's fine, personally.
Can I use the Guardian organization from Pyrokinesis?
I'm not familiar with it, but it's
It's just like a group of like rich people who go around like recording and murdering people.
like I said, if it's in the movie, if it's in,
That's it.
right.
It's just like a serial killer
Personally, as
group.
long
That's
as it's
it.
in the movie adaptation, I'm fine. So yeah, no, if it
Okay.
has, since it is a Toho movie, like so long as it has a Toho presence, I'm fine with it.
And yeah, it's the Ultra Guard.
Yeah.
That was-
The Ultra
I
Guard. That
think
was
we all
close.
get it mixed up between Ultra Garrison and Ultra Guard, so it's like, oh boy. But yeah.
yeah.
You know, I actually, since I went about looking up old, like weird, obscure Toho movies like Returner, I actually have a bunch of ways to have like normal humans fighting the mutants.
How? Oh no.
Like in Returner, like the one with the dog rust, the main character has like a wristwatch kind of device that lets her like increase her speed Matrix
Huh.
style. So like they can dodge bullets,
No
move around, and
kidding.
attack people.
What the heck?
Mm-hmm. So since mutants can move at like superhuman speed, they can just use that to match
Yeah.
them in that speed.
Ah.
All right, so what if a
Oh,
Titan
no.
shifter's wearing that
Oh
watch?
my gosh, no!
if I can get away with that, I'm
No,
gonna
no.
abuse that power as much as I can in a match.
Well, here's the thing. I think it would only really apply more so to the human than the Titan, if that makes sense. Since it's like, I imagine it's like if you're wearing the wrist, unless you get the wrist strap on the Titan, but since they materialize from nothing, you would have to have it on standby. I'd imagine.
Okay, what if the EDF makes a
no.
giant watch?
Well,
No, it'll be like all those mecha anime where like they hold their arm up to the sky and it shoots down from a satellite and attaches to their arm.
oh lordy, oh my gosh, it's gonna be the death of me. Anyway, friggin', oh lordy. But yeah, friggin', whatchamacallit. I think as far as that goes, I think it'd be preferable to keep it to, like, what's seen relative to the film. So it's like, if only a person can wear it, then, let's just... I know.
I know.
But I know how much you love... I know how much you love prodding around. It's like, with the stick, it's like, I
just love coming up with ridiculous
You
scenarios.
have more knowledge on the weird, obscure Toho stuff than me or Gray Shot do. So it's like, if it's there, it's like, oh no.
I just love coming up with ridiculous scenarios to give you
Y'all
connections.
love doing that. I'm like, how am I supposed to answer this without seeing the movie?
Actually, one more question. Do you think Gamera can stop the ether bomb?
That is from...
Like the Goten's ether bomb.
Oh, the Gotens.
Yeah. Because the ether bomb is said to like have its fuel coming from like the planet's ether
that is
itself.
from War in Space, right?
Yeah, like the one with
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Space Beastman and the Hell Commander from the 13th, the Messiah 13 aliens from the Hell
I got you.
whatever thing.
Messiah 13,
Yeah.
third planet of Yomi aliens.
Okay, the Goten.
Yeah, there you go.
Ether bomb. Ether. Okay, yeah. Okay, inside the drill, the ether bomb was the Goten's most powerful weapon. When detonated, the explosion would start the gradual chain reaction. Once it peaked destruction power, planet destroying blast. Holy crap! I forgot about that.
Yeah, they destroy Venus.
Like the explanation for the ether bomb's power source in the movie is that it literally draws the ether from the surroundings to fuel itself, like destroying the very like energy of the
basically the
universe
ether,
itself.
in a sense, is mana.
Yeah.
It's kind of like mana, yeah.
Yeah, they say like enough ether bombs could blow up a galaxy.
And then what was the question pertaining to Gamera again?
Do you think he could either stop it or lessen the effects with his like mana control?
Since it sounds like ether correlates, since it sounds like ether is something drawn from the planet, from what I'm told and what I'm.
Well, they say ether is like what connects the universe,
Right.
like
Which
what
again,
holds
I
the
imagine
universe
is
together.
because again, that's sort of the mental philosophy of mana. It's like all things have life, energy. In here it's called ether, there it's called mana. It's in principle the same thing. So yes, I do imagine Gamera, who can manipulate mana, could also manipulate ether by extension. So I could imagine he could like lessen the effects or even completely drain the bomb. So
That would be fun.
yes, I do think it would be possible since ether to me, from what I am looking up and from what I can vaguely recall, it very much does sound like, it's just pretty much the War in Space universe's version of mana. So yeah, no, I'd say he'd be able to do that since, again, it just depends on principle of the thing. So it's like, okay, yeah, super similar thingamajig and whatnot, so.
Could he say Gamera self-destruct?
He's never been seen doing that. Could it be possible? Maybe.
I mean, if we go by Gamera 4, if we label that as canon, then yes.
True. That is very true. So it's like possibly overloading on mana or something and blowing himself up. Possibly. That's possibly with a giant shrug. I can't say I know the definitive answer to that one. Big question mark. So, but yeah, I felt like there was something. Gosh darn. Every time I think about it, I feel mildly upset that we can't use Pokemon. More specifically, live action Pokemon. It's like. Right.
Giant Torterra.
Here's the thing. To me, I don't think we need a Pokemon rep in the KWC roster. Personally, I don't think that's needed. What I'm more interested in with Pokemon in the KWC is more the world. It's like, let's plop these giant monsters into this crazy world and see how it interacts with it. And have...
Let's catch King Ghidorah with a Master Ball.
They're not Pokemon.
That's why
Deoxys got caught. Deoxys is an alien.
And then Arceus is God.
In Rayquaza versus Monster X, like that match, KWCE 13, I specifically put in the scene of someone throwing a Pokeball at Kaiser Ghidorah just to argue against that.
That's like, no, this is not regular. This is not your regular ass Pokemon. This is something completely different.
Because like when I was writing that, I was like, someone's gonna be like, why don't they just put Monster X in a Pokeball? So I'm like, I'm gonna put that in the match.
You're not dealing with the average monster anymore.
Exactly.
So that's why a Pokemon trainer hurls a Pokeball at Kaiser Ghidorah, then gets obliterated.
Is someone gonna try to throw a Pokeball at Kubal? Try and catch him? But yeah, no, it's like, yeah, no, I would love to have like sort of like the not only that, I just want to write a dang match with Mewtwo. Mewtwo's so freaking good. I would love to have a match that unironically has him. Just, gosh darn it. I wish I could do that. Dang it. That was so good. Damn it.
Oh, rules on magical characters and like magic using characters.
I mean, so long as it's like so long as it makes sense. Personally, like I know there's no specific. I don't think Toho has like a specific movie where it's like wizard. Well, okay, no, there's Yamato Takeru, so there is.
Onryoji.
Yeah, I was about to say Yamato.
There's Onryoji, Yamato Takeru,
Okay,
like
no,
some
you're
other
not
movies.
playing like magic users, so just sort of like make sure it fits and call it good.
Which with Yamato Takeru gives you fireballs and like magic rope. Well, the I-beams are specifically like deity.
And if you go to Onryoji, you have your own like section of magic usage right there.
Yeah, no, I think it's fine.
All right, so if a Titan shifter learns magic.
Oh my gosh, how would that work? But
I mean, I'd assume they'd have to learn magic first, and then, you know, like just start shooting fireballs. That doesn't work.
I think Ray Shot's stance is like when it comes to like, you know, so long as it's not like crazy new or it's like, oh gosh, oh no.
I'm guessing no fireballs.
Right.
As
Fireballs
a Titan.
as a human is fine, but not as a Titan. Yeah.
All right, so what if a Titan shifter gets the Wild Spirit?
Oh yeah,
I think we went over that. Like, we went over that. Like, we can have Utsuna losing and then just exploding into a Titan if he dies.
But could that Titan then use the eye lasers?
I'd say no, because that's giving it. How should I put this? That's.
You're gonna kill Kaiju.
Because I'm trying to operate because I'm seeing where you guys are coming from. I do see it. Because it's like, yeah.
I want to clarify something real quick. I want to clarify.
Okay.
I am joking. I am doing a lot of joking. Like, in no way do I expect you to say yes to Titan shifters with I-beam.
Here's the other thing. I know you're joking, but my reaction is take it literally.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Alex. How's it going? Yeah, we're still going. Yeah.
Okay. We're still going, so give your thoughts on the matches and on Eye Laser
first
being Titan.
Matches. 308, 309, 310, KWCE number 62. Go. Okay, fair enough.
Okay, give me a
Oh,
second.
no. Free high lasering titans. Oh no. What have I got myself into?
Let's see. For the 3 KWCs, they're all good. Nothing much to say, but except for the inclusion of MUTO Prime, that was awesome. The Screaming match, that was great. And I didn't read the KWCE as usual.
Okay.
It's a good one. I think you'd
Well,
like
that's
it. even
exactly
though
why
it's
he
wrong.
wouldn't read it.
Yeah. I know it's 2. Yeah, because it's both of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, Fred, yeah, no, we were having a discussion about hypothetical new powers drawing from other Toho sources of what Titans can or cannot do. It's like, oh no, kill me. Oh
Yeah.
no. Because that's the thing. Titans are like, you know, like the Titan shifters are like.
Would you say that Yogg would be able to empower a Titan further?
Because it's like, yeah, no, I think it depends. It's super circumstantial because it is. Because it's like they are smart. They're still humans inside and still have human consciousnesses and therefore can learn and adapt. I think that in of itself makes sense. That said, the idea of a Titan shifter like, say, Eren, learning magic to shoot fireballs is, oh boy. Oh boy. Damn you, Myoji, for existing.
I mean, you could just explain it away as like the Titan form uses too much energy that they
is
wouldn't
true.
be able
That
to
is
use
true.
their
You know what?
magic.
I like that. Thank you, Nagoda, for answering your own question for me.
And now to get over that limitation, what about mitochondria Eve? What about if I infect them with that and have them use the mitochondria and other
Wait, what's
creatures to light them on
mitochondria
fire? It's from Parasite Eve. Here's the bio. It's kind of like Yogg now that I'm reading the powers, just without the whole mutating into a monster aspect, but with other powers like fire,
Wait
levitation,
a minute. Parasite
electricity.
Eve. Isn't that a video game? Oh my god!
It is.
There's a movie made on this? How have I not known?
I think either the game or the movie is a sequel. One of them is.
Oh my goodness. What the heck? Alright, so that's a thing.
So rules on using this in the
what?
KWC.
I can't give an answer because my brain's still
I think
blowing
we
up
broke
at
him.
the idea that there's a Parasite Eve movie adaptation. What the frick? I literally cannot give an answer right now. What the heck? You'll have to let me think on this because wait.
KaijuX, can a Titan shifter's regeneration heal them from crippling depression?
No, they just brood even more.
Fair.
Damn.
Although the one good thing is that they only have
Yes.
13 years to live.
So don't worry,
Okay.
it'll all come to an end eventually, unless they get eaten before.
GVR.
What?
Regeneration only heals physical pain, not mental trauma. Kind of like a
Yeah.
sensu bean.
Yeah, totally right.
I still love the question I asked him. Can Shin Godzilla adapt out of
adapt out of
crippling
crippling.
No, he'd adapt into it.
depression?
Crippling depression incarnate.
Existentialism.
That was Alex while watching Shin.
Existentialism incarnate. Oh.
So has it only been you three the
Birdman
whole
for a
time?
little bit, but
Yes.
he was more
Yes.
silent on that one.
Spent the first 40 minutes going over which monsters were radioactive.
Oh my gosh. That was crazy. I was like, oh, okay, if we could just do this real quick. 40 minutes later. Good grief.
KaijuX's gonna upload this and people are gonna be like, why is this podcast 3.5 hours long?
It's because we keep
Oh,
dragging
Lord,
it
we're gonna
on.
hear
Oh, another thing we could drag on.
Hey,
from
yeah,
space.
you know what?
Ooh.
Fair. You know what?
Yeah, I'm here, so
Hell yeah.
KaijuX and I
No.
can talk about that.
Yeah, no. Toss the KWC out of the way. Warning from space, baby. All right. So let's see. Alex, you want to go first?
Yeah, Toho should get sued
Right.
because Gorath fucking stole the majority of
Yep.
their movie from this.
Now, that can be very much verified.
Yeah, only difference is there's aliens and it's more of a scientific approach compared to the more militaristic
Right.
approach in Gorath.
There is a mild difference in terms of execution, but it's like general premise is the same. Giant meteor coming to Earth, we need to stop it. Or giant planet coming to Earth, and we need to stop it. But all right. Well, I guess I'll take over first before you get warning from space. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'll also say this: the Pyrans actually make sense. The Walrus
That's
does not.
Actually,
I think
really
Dai
true.
did better.
The aliens of the movie, the Pyrans, make sense in the plot and make their impact in the plot in a meaningful way. For the most part, yes.
For the most part,
Whereas Maguma is
when they're practically
right,
non-existent in the
and
third
they're
act.
just there to quickly resolve things. But compared to Maguma, who could literally be cut from the movie, you wouldn't miss anything.
Which they
He
did.
was
The
cut from the
American
movie.
cut.
Yep, cut
wasn't
from the
he?
American version.
Yeah, they, except for like a
Right.
few
Which
frames
even
of this
then,
corpse.
1960s blurry whatever. I'm sure you probably thought that was a rock. Oh lordy, but yeah, very good. Whatchamacallit. All right, so Warning from Space is a 1956 science fiction film from Dai, the creators of Gamera, which precedes Gamera by almost 10 years. Directed by something Shima, I think. He is the uncle to Gamera director Noriaki Yuasa? Or, no. Oh, yeah, it was Yuasa. Yeah, there we go. Oh, crap.
He was the
he is
Funkle.
indeed the Funkle. Because this was... Warning from Space is a very interesting movie, because not only is it the first Japanese film in color,
I know it was the first science fiction movie in color. Is it actually
okay,
the
I'm
first
not. I'll
in
have to
general?
look into that a little more. I know it's at least the first Japanese science fiction film in color. It might be the first Japanese film period to be in color. Might. But I think Warning from Space is very it does structurally reminds me of Rodan in a way, where you get first half of the movie is this, second half of the movie is that. But except I think it's done. It definitely has its blemishes and imperfections, but like basically what happens in Warning from Space is that there are these aliens called the Pyrans that come to Earth trying to warn humanity of a danger that's going to befall their planet. But the humans are too darn frightened by their appearances to heed their message, so the Pyrans come back in human form and deliver the warning that way. Deliver the warning that way. There is doubt. There is definitely doubt of whether or not what they say is true. But then the planet R, which is the rogue planets threatening to destroy the Earth, is coming their way. So once the planet's discovered, humanity tries its best to protect Earth by launching nukes at it, which does nothing. Absolutely nothing. And by the very end, there is something of a Deus Ex Machina with this energy, like with this.
Your mom?
Yes, with your mom, who blows up the planet. Anyway, before you no, there was like this special energy thing a guy was researching. Almost reminds me of Dr. Serizawa and the Oxygen Destroyer, the original. Almost.
Yeah, I was kind of because when the main Pyran goes down and sees his notes, she's concerned, doesn't want him to study it because she thinks it'll end up being something like the oxygen
Right.
destroyer or something bad.
The shocking part about this movie is that there were some very strong Gojira-esque influences in there. I was not expecting that out of a Daiei production with giant starfish people. But yes, there are some, because there is a point where they talk very heavy on the usage of nuclear weapons that reminded me of Gojira. And I was shocked. And don't get me wrong, it was the 50s. Very much a thing to talk about at the time. But
yeah, not even 2 full years have passed.
So it was really interesting to find another movie also talking about the subject.
Yeah, except there's the one major difference. I guess like the element that the professor made actually proven to be useful at the end. They did find a good use for it compared to the oxygen destroyer. It turns out to be the one thing that saves them.
They pretty much take the energy thing, make it into a bomb, throw it at the planet, and blows up the whole thing. You'll have to suspend your disbelief on that one because it's like the planet R is like coming really close, like its physical presence is influencing the Earth, or destroying the Earth. But
no, the thing that the audience has to suspend their disbelief on is in the third act when the Pyrans don't save the professor from being kidnapped earlier on and don't even give him a ride back to the observatory. They just let him wander in God knows how much like of like the radiation, like, because that's why everyone had to go in basements to steer clear from it as much as possible. They just let that guy wander in it for God knows how long and how far, and then the pirates go, "Oh, okay, well, we're doing this now." Yeah, they completely forgot about us in the third act.
Yeah,
Bye.
that's the movie's biggest fault is its usage of the alien. Like in the first 2 acts, they're great. Like anytime the pirates are there, they're fantastic. They're wonderful. Yes,
they're cheesy, but they're awesome.
They're also unsettling too at the same time. At least when they first start. That's surprisingly unsettling. I was like, "Ooh!" It kind of spooked me for a second.
And no, the one hanging on the wall during when the one celebrity was singing reminds me of like Patrick Star, like that meme of him hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah, that's right. Oh lordy.
But yeah, that's my other biggest gripe. The Pirates were fine for the first 2 acts, but I think with the third act, it should have been them and humanity working together. Not only working together to find a solution, but actually get to know one another. Give us more insight on the race.
Once the third act hits, it's like it doesn't really focus on the pirates. It's about how to get rid of Planet R. And while that's not bad in of itself, the pirates are oddly completely absent for most of it, except for saving the professor, which they, awkwardly enough, have the technology to go out, find him, and save him, but don't take him back. It's so weird.
Yeah, and another thing to note, when did they give him
he had the
transmitter?
A wrist transmitter.
When did they give him that?
Which we never saw established earlier in the movie, which is bizarre. Incredibly bizarre.
Had they fixed had they improved the third act quite a bit, this would have been one of my favorite Japanese science fiction movies. Because the first 2 acts were really strong.
Yeah, everything about it is really strong. It just, that third act leaves a lot to be desired because not only do you omit the pirates from most of it, you also just use them to resolve any sort of unresolved points. It's like, oh, okay, how do we save the professor? Oh, they save him, except they let him stumble back to the laboratory without assisting him getting back there for some reason. And then secondly is actually how they develop the bomb is just sort of done in a we developed the bomb using the professor's energy. We can save the world. They shoot it, and blows up.
Yeah, that should have been an issue about both.
Yes, it should have been
together and fix
very
it.
much.
Daiei didn't know how to do a third act,
not.
did they?
Yeah. And whoever's listening, if you watched our commentary track for Gamera versus Bargun, you notice how much the third act in that movie drags on. So it's definitely a Daiei thing. Where the majority of the third acts are just terrible.
Daiei really had no firm grasp when it came to executing well done friggin' Yeah.
Unless your name is Viras, Giron, and possibly Jiger. And possibly yokai monsters, but nobody knows.
So...
there was another thing I was gonna say. Yeah. Oh yeah, going back to Gorath, I do think while Warning from Space had the better first 2 acts, I think Gorath had the better third act. Where you get more of you get a grander scale of Gorath actually causing harm to Earth compared to Planet R.
Strong.
Oh, I think from an atmosphere point, yes, but I think Gorath from like a show and tell did a better job. Yeah, there's more of a spectacle.
It makes sense. It's Toho. They definitely had the money for it. So.
Yeah, overall, I do think Warning from Space is still the better movie, but if you're looking for a better, like a grander scale of destruction, I'd say go with Gorath.
If you're a guy who loves the planet-destroying stuff, Gorath is probably the better one to watch for that entertainment. But Warning from Space is surprisingly atmospheric, and
if you just want more of a scientific sort of thing.
So I think it does a good job with that. I wish I could say it was one of the greats, but that third act goes hampered down. Just not so much with what the third act contains. It has good stuff, but the fact that it lacks the alien presence of the first 2 acts is sort of like a little disheartening because it doesn't take full advantage of that element.
It's sort of how I feel like with Matongo and H-Man. This movie could benefit from a remake. Just fix all the flaws from the original. Make the remake more about the pirates and humanity come together, not just like fixing or trying to save everyone, but socializing, get to know each other's cultures, and how humanity could learn from the pirates' mistakes and all that stuff.
There should have been more of that, but it doesn't, which is unfortunate.
Also, gotta love how a lot of the posters and DVD covers always made the pirates look evil, like they're destroying cities, when it's in fact the complete opposite.
Right.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about misleading, that is probably the most.
But I think it also
does
lead into one of the stronger twists of the movie is the fact that they're not the typical invaders. It's like, sure, it may require something of a lie if you're not familiar with it, but it's like, the pirates are not malevolent beings; they're benevolent. They're not bad guys; they're the good guys. But they're here to.
Well,
they are generic bad evil alien invader.
Well, I think when I say misleading, I mean like the pirates not attacking anyone, not like in that sense, but like more like a self-defense. Like if someone tried to shoot at them, the pirates were forced to defend themselves. Then I think that would better relate to the actual covers. Totally. But if there's like more of a misunderstanding between the two.
Mm-hmm.
Also, gotta love when the pirates are. One part that made me laugh is when the pirates were talking about human beauty and they said, in the middle of their faces with their noses. And they're like, how can you consider that attractive?
Yeah, no, there's definitely a little bit of a sense of humor with the pirates, too. There is a very specific.
Yeah, that's what I wish we also got more of, just the pirates hanging out talking to each other. Or like just seeing like the pirates themselves, like their starfish forms just talking
like
to people.
Opening up, and instead of wearing human disguises throughout, they eventually come out in a sense. It would have been very forward thinking for its time, for sure.
Yeah, now I feel bad that Nagoto can't do any hybrids with them.
Not in the KWC anyway.
Yeah, I wanted to, because I know you wanted to see Garogas and Pirates make a baby.
But yeah, no, that was me and Alex's review of Pirates. Review of Warning from Space. I called the movie Pirates. No.
But yeah, if you can, watch the movie. It's great.
Even with the third act's faults, I think it's still a solid, great movie all around. So.
Had the third act been great, or had the third act at least been solid, it would have been one
without
of the
a
greats. Well, any more subjects?
Great question.
At least I made it to warning for warning from space. So
yeah, no.
Best to talk about that
heck
one while
yeah.
it's still fresh in our minds.
Totally.
I like how the laser beam tank, its powers and weapons, its laser cannon.
What? Did you not know that?
As if it wasn't obvious.
Yeah. I guess one more small thing. Thoughts on the standard editions for
that's
Gamera?
right. Yeah, no, I actually kind of like the way they break it.
They just wanted more money.
Yeah, no, I kind of like the way they broke it down. Personally, I think it's good if you have a certain bias to a certain series. So it's like if you're more of a Showa fan than the Heisei one, it's like, hey, you could just get the Showa stuff and call it good. If you're more of a Heisei fan than the Showa guys, you can go get the Showa stuff or Heisei stuff and call it good.
Yeah, I mean the box art for
And
both
if you want
sets
Gamera
were
the
great.
Brave, you can only get it in one set.
Right,
Yeah,
if you
you're
just
screwed
want
with
Brave
Brave.
separately, you're a little screwed. You kind of need to get the Heisei.
Yeah, that's kind of thing that sucks. Like, yeah, the steelbook for the Heisei trilogy looks awesome, but it's like you're gonna have to get both if you want Braves. I think they should have just made a regular steelbook for Brave.
Because I know some people just want Brave because that's a very hard movie to get. Don't get me wrong, the steelbook looks fantastic, but it's like, you know, if I were in similar shoes as everyone else, it's like when it comes to standard edition, I just get the Heisei. Like, you know, I think the regular average Joe will probably want to get the regular Heisei standard edition for the modern Gamera.
Yeah, it's just to get Brave.
Your Braves under the table.
And then,
unless you hate Brave,
and if you have extra cash,
unless
get
you're
the
a
steelbook.
monster and hate Brave, in that case, I'll punch you in the face and you can go buy the steelbook.
Yeah.
You know what's the worst thing about all three of those sets? They look very enticing to get.
They are.
Because,
no,
goddamn,
Frank,
those look great.
Wonderful. Freaking beautiful.
And the steelbook looks amazing.
So good. Good gosh. Yeah, no, the steelbook is amazing. My goodness.
But yeah, I'm still fortunate enough that I was able to get the limited edition.
Limited edition is undeniably the best way to get it. But for it's like when it comes to standard edition, I do not think if you're if you're just looking for the the movies and because the content on the disc are the same.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, if you missed out, if you just want all the special features on the disc, don't worry, you'll still get them.
Are the comic book stuff, the map, and the essay book. Right. So it's
book.
On that front, unfortunately, it's you won't be getting those. But if you're looking for, more for again, literally the movies and their special features, do not worry. These are the same things as would be on the limited edition set. So thank goodness for that, because that would have been a pickle if it. That would have been a real pickle if it weren't. But no, I think. Yeah. Nagoda, are you trying?
I think Nagoda's having a stroke.
It really does sound like Nagoda having a stroke there. You're like,
what?
Mm-mm.
You were buffering.
I can understand. I'm surprised Arrow hasn't tried to do a separate order of comics
that would
in
be
the
nice.
booklet itself.
Right. No,
extra money.
Right. Yeah, no, I think a separate order for that, the limited edition with the bundle, and then making a separate order for everything else would be nice too. Which would make sense because I'm sure people would want specific things. I'm sure there are people who hate the Showa films. I wouldn't blame them. Hate the Showa films. Just get the Heisei stuff in the comic book or whatever.
Well, I'll say this: I wish they made a separate show set for the four I like. Viras, Giron, Jiger,
Right,
and
right.
Super Monster.
Oh lordy.
And before someone says, our gun's the best one, no, that one's fucking boring.
It has the carrot.
Yeah, it's a carrot.
Yeah.
Barugan
Saved
would have
me.
been. Barugan would have been
Yep.
one of the best ones if it
I
weren't for
can
the
agree
third
with
act.
that.
And if they didn't name her Karen.
It was a different time.
They could not
It
foreshadow
didn't-
the memes. But yeah, friggin' oh man. No, I think the standard edition is still worth getting if you missed out on the limited edition. But it would be nice to have assets for the limited edition to be repurposed or redistributed. That would be nice. So, but if nothing else, I think this in of itself is perfectly fine for those looking more for the special features and stuff because it's still loaded.
Yeah, if you
Right,
just don't
it's still
care about
loaded.
the
It is still loaded
booklets.
with a lot of really nice stuff. The transfers for a lot of them, especially the Heisei trilogy, are spectacular. And yeah, so
Yeah, except for Super Monster, that one was
right.
the only
I
one
think
that didn't look
relative
that
to
good.
the others, I think Super Monster was the only one that left a lot to be desired. It's a little weird that they didn't try to fix Super Monster using assets of the other movies. I do find that a little strange, but I think it gives.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
at the
you
same
would
time, I
think.
think it gives it a more distinguished feel compared to the others too. So it's like make of that as you will. Because I know Arrow does do that. Like they take their like assets and pretty much make a custom version based on modern assets in a way, which I don't mind because it makes it look good. So it's like yeah, no.
Biggest question is, are we all ready for the potential war when it comes to
lordy.
Daimajin?
We'll
Because that's
Right.
going to go by
Wait.
even faster.
wait. Arrow's actually releasing Daimajin?
No, I'm
Oh,
just saying
lordy.
whenever that does happen.
If it does, I'll be the first one there.
Because in terms of Daya, I don't think they have anything
No,
else
not at the
planned
moment.
at the
No,
moment.
right.
Does
Cal-
Daya
Cal-
even have anything else?
Daimajin, Yokai Monsters, and that.
Oh
what's
yeah,
that?
Kujiragami.
Whale one or something. Yeah,
That are
I think it's
really
just
the
those
only
three.
ones I've seen. Speaking of which, I've unironically sent an email to Arrow requesting Kujiragami to see if they'd be interested. Oh my gosh.
And into the trash it goes.
Spam. Delete.
If anything, I think.
Oh,
Daimajin's
Daimajin is
the most
undeniably the
likely.
most likely one because I would love for that to get maybe something like a Gamera treatment. If nothing else, then it's just like at least a collection at least.
Now see 8,000 copies
Right.
made more sense for Daimajin.
Yeah, because I think Daimajin,
Yeah.
even among the kaiju community, it's niche relative to the kaiju community.
Yeah, I think Gamera. See, that Friday the 13th box set, I think there was about 13,000 made. I'm not sure. They might have done even more, but 13,000 seems
Yeah,
a bit
totally,
more fair for Gamera.
totally. Like I get Gamera's under Godzilla.
Yeah.
Like he's not as big as Godzilla, but Gamera is still recognized. Yeah, I think 13,000 for Gamera would have been good.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
8,000 for Daimajin. Oh, that would suck if they made too many copies of Daimajin. Guys, we're trying to get rid of
right.
$5 a set.
Oh no, that would suck. I mean, it's like if you have leftovers, you have I get you want to sell everything you can, so that way you make your money back. But friggin'
Oh man, the dream Daimajin set would be Daimajin himself, and then all the discs.
Oh, yeah,
and
no,
all the
that'd be
booklets inside
awesome.
of him. That would be the best box
yeah,
set
that would
ever,
be
just
epic.
a statue of him.
Oh,
It sounds like good in practice on paper, but I feel like in practice
Maybe,
it would
yeah.
run into issues.
There's a very real chance that's like, there may be a problem with that. Unfortunately, it was like, as awesome as it sounds, but...
You're paid to consume, not to think.
Okay. Damn.
No.
But yeah, anyway.
No.
Consume product and then wait to consume next project.
I was gonna say I'll consume you, but that could easily be taken a different way.
Yeah. Anyway, with that said,
Was there anything else,
really
or?
don't think so, because I know, we've been on here for about over 2 hours now. That much I know. Oh, I know you.
Well,
you
you
haven't
guys
been,
have.
right.
I've only been here for
Right.
about
I know you haven't been
45
here
minutes.
long, Alex, but yeah, I know it's like for the rest of us, it's like, ooh boy.
I mean, if you don't end it, me and GBR are gonna bring up more
Oh, no!
hours to give the time.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
shot, help me!
But at least the good thing is that KaijuX had a buddy to talk to
Yes.
for warning from space.
And thank you for the reminder, because I actually forgot about that. I was like, oh yeah, that's right, we were going to talk about that. Holy crap.
Yeah, that's why I really wanted
Yeah,
to make
yeah.
it here so we
Right,
could talk
right.
about that movie.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, thankfully that
Thanks.
one's not a limited
Hey, it
edition.
comes with all the little...
Okay, so since you two have watched that, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Is it better than Bye Bye Jupiter?
From the bits that I watched with you and a few of the others, yeah, way better.
Good.
Bye Bye Jupiter was just fucking horrible.
Yeah. Like, I haven't seen Warning from Space, but I'm gonna say it's
I
better
have not seen-
than Bye Bye Jupiter.
Yeah,
Same
strangely
here.
enough, they used some of I think that's where a lot of Biolante's
Really?
cries originated from. Yeah,
Bye Bye
'cause-
Jupiter, yeah.
Yeah, because I think some of the life forms on
kidding.
Jupiter had the same whales.
Huh?
Oh, the
Oh yeah,
Jupiter
speaking
ghost.
of things that precede
right.
famous monsters, Warning from Space uses Gamera's flying sound effect. For the spaceships.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Ah,
Neat.
So, it's weird. It's extra weird when it's like, this movie precedes Gamera, yet it's using his flying noise. So, alright, that's a delightful and expected thing. We're all learning something today. Yes.
Nice
indeed.
piece of history.
That was the other... Yeah, that was the thing I actually wanted to bring up, was the whole sound effect dealio.
It's sad when the people from the 50s didn't have their big titty starfish GFs. If only Nagoda could travel back in time and tell him to do that.
Oh, lordy. Oh, my gosh. Anyway. Yeah, no. I think with that said, this has been... Okay, you got nothing? Alright, cool. This has been this month's KWCC, and we'll see you guys next time. Hopefully with more of the crew in tow, because my gosh. Even though I had fun, there's barely anyone here. My goodness. There was 40 minutes. Hopefully
Hopefully next time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.